Hello, 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 everybody. How are you? Thank you so much for waiting. Thank you so much for joining us today. How is everybody this afternoon? And can you guys hear Brandon? And can you hear me? And can you see me okay? Just to make sure. I'm good. Okay. Thank you so much, Brandon. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm so glad to hear you today.
Yes, we're back.
I know. So we do want to apologize to everybody for last week. So, if you didn't see my videos throughout the week, what happened is I actually, I was cutting open a box. So I went and bought myself like an air fryer and went on Boxing Day, bought an air fryer. I was all excited to use it. Saturday morning, I'm cutting it open. I'm like, using the X-Acto knife, and then my finger. So it wouldn't stop, bleeding because it was like on the knuckle. So I ended up having to get like butterfly stitches on it. And I was at the Medi Center and the doctor's laughing at me because I'm a klutz and I'm there quite often. Apparently not as often as I think that I am, but apparently according to him, I'm quite the klutz. So anyway, that was pretty much what happened. And so we couldn't go live because that's where we were. And then last night, I'm sitting there and I can't remember exactly what I was cutting. But the next thing I know, I actually sliced open my thumb too. So my son was like, do we have to go to the Medi Center again? I'm like, no, I'm not going. I'm just going to suffer through this one. And of course you think that it's, stopped bleeding, and like an hour later it's like all over the place, and you're like, oh fuck, maybe I should have just gone to the Medi Center or whatever. Anyway, it is what it is. It's all good. So again, I'm so happy that you guys are here. Now, if you have submitted for the Organite draw, so this is the Organite that we created for you this week. I actually, I had even pulled it out of the mold last week. It was all ready to go. I was all excited about the show to give it away, and unfortunately it just couldn't happen. So now if you had read if you had watched the video, or if you know the rules, basically what it was is that you do need to be a subscriber on the channel. You also need to be following me on either Facebook or Instagram. And you have to have shared my channel or one of the videos off of my channel. So there is still time, to share, again, either the channel or the video. If you have done so, I already have your names down for the draw. You guys are already in the draw. We're going to be doing that, at some point throughout the show. If you still want to submit, the fact that you share and the fact that you subscribed to both, you can submit those at oracleintuitions1111.com or to my Facebook Messenger or Instagram Messenger. And I'm going to be watching, for those to be submitted. And I'm going to be sending it out this week. So you guys should have it before Christmas. And we're so excited. And also for mini readings. So some of the especially if you're new to the channel, that we're only going to be doing mini readings. So these are not going to be full readings. These are just, a quick look into the situation as it is. However, I am going to be putting up a special for this week. So for those of you that are seeking a longer reading, what I'm going to be doing is, and it does start today. So for those of you that want to, submit for a reading today, that's fine. But it's going to be more, I'm going to be actually posting it probably tomorrow or maybe Monday. And this is going to be $30 for a 15-minute reading. The readings are going to be sent to you privately on my YouTube channel. So you'll get a private link to the email that you submit with it. And these are going to be, so there's going to be a 2-question limit and a 15-minute reading. Again, just, that only you can see. It'll be a private link for you. Just send me all of the information of what it is that you want me to look into. The email or the readings must be paid for ahead of time, and those can be submitted at crogers5555.com, and that can be through PayPal or email transfer if you're in Canada. This is a really good special, okay? Because, you know, if you've ever watched my readings, I do get really into depth, and it's not going to be just a quick yes, no type of answer. These are going to be fairly in depth. They can be in regards to whatever it is that you want. But if it does include another person, I am going to need a birthday, or at least a general idea of their birthday, you know, like if they're a Taurus or Aries or whatever it is. And I also need at least their first name, your first name, and birth dates of both people. So I am going to be, so just sort of watch the channel, watch my Facebook, watch my Instagram, because I am going to be posting that this week, and it's going to go until the end of the month. So it's kind of like a Christmas present, I guess, for everybody. What else? For the mini readings, so some of the things that we prefer not to look into is we're not spies, so we're not going to sit there and really get in depth into somebody else's relationship. That is kind of intrusive. We're also not really going to, we don't take health questions as far as, you know, especially illness, sickness, anything to do with that. What else? No law, no legal. What's that?
I wanted to share as well,
Yeah.
you know, I did something very similar. We must be on the same psychic brainwave here. So I wanted to reward people for showing up to live shows. So I also have a discount on my readings as well. If you were to go to my website, I think the link is in the description, and you were to book a 60-minute reading, there's a 40% off that I have. And just type in the coupon code LIVE1, LIVE, and then the number 1. And you can get 40% off. I wanted to do that near the holidays, near the, dare I say, end of the world as we know it. And yeah, I really appreciate the people that show up here, that participate live, that connect with us, because I don't know, there's a lot of informal attitudes, I think, in a lot of these, I don't know, other spiritual things. And I just think it's super important that people connect. And I don't know, anybody that knows me knows that the one thing that I absolutely love is just connection, people connecting together. So I want to reward that. So LIVE1, I will get you 40% off on my website as well for booking a session with me.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love it when we're able to connect with people in that extent. And, you know, the thing is, like, I know with me, a lot of people have said, and you probably get this too, Brandon, a lot of people say, why don't you raise up your prices, raise up your prices, raise up your prices. And, you know, like for an hour-long session with me, which is live, not live on YouTube, I wouldn't do that to you guys, but, you know, usually through, you know, whether it's Skype or WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger, whatever, is really only $85. And the reason that I keep it at a low price is because I feel like readings need to be available to everybody. It's not just for people that have lots of money, and especially in this current climate. And you know, so people are always able to book those with me as well. It's something with me is like, for me, you know, I get really in depth, and I know you do too when you do your readings. And I just think that it's nice to be able to offer a service to people that isn't going to break the bank, and they're leaving with that knowledge that you've done everything that you can within that hour to be able to guide them to the next step.
Right.
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 So,
and I think these little shows where we can give out little mini readings and things definitely help as well, I think.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Just because I know, especially like I said, now in right now in today's current climate, not a lot of people, you know, they don't have tons of money, right? But they still need that advice. They still need that spiritual next step. And I know with me, I've had clients throughout the years, you know, where you know, I usually recommend to people, you know, you don't need a reading every week. You don't need a reading every day. You don't need, you know, like basically if you're following the advice, you know, the goal is that you're basically able to follow your own intuition. You're basically able to follow, your own insights, and you know the next step for yourself. But, we've all dealt with clients that are kind of like, they become dependent, and I don't want people to be dependent upon me. I want them to be able to gain that knowledge and have that insight for themselves. The way I look at it is like there's 7 billion people on the planet. So if I'm helping somebody get to the next step, wonderful, right? I'm not particularly losing a client. I am gaining the knowledge that somebody is using their own abilities, their own intuition, their own, whatever it is, to move forward, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way I tend to take it for myself anyway. So we were talking about, speaking of the things going on in the planet today, we were talking about this astrological junk that's going on. And I think I'm going to turn it over to you to talk about it a little bit more, because you are the knowledgeable one when it comes to this. And I'd like to, I think, this, why don't you talk about it?
So we do have some pretty important transits coming up astrologically. So the first one that's really of impact is the one that is going to be between Saturn and Jupiter. So Saturn and Jupiter are they're conjunct right now, but they're going to become exactly conjunct at 0 degrees Aquarius right on the winter solstice. And I see a lot of people are posting about this. They're calling it, the Christmas star or the Star of Bethlehem. And I don't think that whole Star of Bethlehem is actually true, because from my own research and understanding, a lot of religious people thought that the Star of Bethlehem was likely some kind of supernova, a star exploding, and them seeing it for a short amount of time. But also they say that only the Magi, the ones that were traveling to Mary, Joseph, and Jesus, were the ones that were able to see it. So I find it really interesting, but I don't think this is the quote unquote Star of Bethlehem. But I do feel, that this is quite a significant astrological alignment. Reason being is because when Jupiter and Saturn come conjunct, those are slower moving planets because they're bigger, right? And they're further away.
Right.
Not bigger, but they're further away from the Earth and from the sun. So they move a lot slower, in our perception. And so they don't come into alignment very often. They don't come into a conjunction very often. And this will be the first time, and I think, I believe it's over 1,800 years. I think the year was 1615, when Jupiter and Saturn were conjunct in Aquarius last. Oh, no. You and I were on the phone yesterday. It was
1405, right?
That's right.
1405.
So it's 1405 when that happened last in history. So pardon me. Excuse my correction here. And Kathy and I were trying to look up, just for the sake of understanding and our own research, which really is the fun of astrology. You can look stuff up like this. What was happening in the world at that time, when Saturn and Jupiter were in Aquarius. A lot of astrologers use this as it's like a mile marker. Every time they come together, it kind of represents a new era, a new period. And I mean, Kathy, you know all about Aquarius, obviously, you being Aquarius yourself.
Yeah.
It's an interesting energy. It is broadly encompassing, it's more focused on humanitarian things. And I think, honestly, oh my God, I just remembered. I had the craziest dream last night, Kathy. Oh my God. Okay, this is like breaking news for everyone right here.
Awesome. Actually, I had one too, so that's kind of cool, but yeah.
I totally forgot I had this, and it was something to do with us sharing information via our brains, not with another interface like a phone or a laptop. It was directly sharing like telepathic information, but it was by way of technology. We had technology implemented in our brains somehow within our body, and we were able to share data and information back and forth with one another. I find it very interesting because that to me perfectly encapsulates the Aquarian exploration, right? You know, Aquariuses are the astrologers, they're the map makers, they're the broadcasters of the universe. They're the ones that often feel like aliens, like they, you know, don't belong on Earth, or they don't belong anywhere maybe, or somewhere that they don't know of. So I think it's going to be really interesting. I think we're going to see a lot of big jumps with technology over the next 10 years.
Yeah.
And things that were really going to be, I think, just catapulted in a whole new way of understanding humanity and how to take care of one another with these crazy advances. On top of that, we also have another alignment coming up where Saturn and Jupiter will still be conjunct, and then Mars makes its way all the way down to Uranus in Taurus, and that's going to form a square with Saturn and Jupiter. And they'll be separated by a couple weeks when it makes that square, but my goodness, I mean, if anybody knows astrology here, we've got Saturn and Jupiter, Saturn, the planet of limitation, Jupiter, the planet of expansion, already contradicting one another. And we've got Uranus, the planet of revolution, and Mars, the planet of, you know, war and action here.
Right.
It's going to be a little, it'll be a little bit interesting. Well, it'll be very interesting to watch, but I keep telling people, you know, I did post about this because I feel like it's part of my duty as an advisor to warn people of what is to come. And I do feel tensions, as you all see likely and do. And, you know, I was shown that this would be very likely that we lead to some kind of a war. And so what I was telling people is, honestly, by January 20th, well, by January 17th, we are going to know if we're, you know, headed into a war. So everybody hang tight, hunker down, you know, keep your safety plans, you know, if you have people that you want to meet up with, and hunker down with, make those plans, get yourself a safe space. Just be prepared. I'm not saying to be paranoid. I'm not saying to go to the extremes. It's just be prepared and be aware of what's going on around you, because it's very clear that we are not being fed proper information from the sources we were able to trust before. So just keep yourself conscious and in a prepared state of mind.
You know, it's interesting because ever since, you know, all of this has started, this whole whatever crap that is going on right now, this corona, we've talked a lot in regards to it, and it's interesting that this is all coming up, you know, going into the beginning of next month. Like you said, stay tight, you know, stay within yourself, you know, kind of keep watch. And the one thing that kept coming through ever since, I want to say February about, is the word stay in and stay out of the way. Right. It's almost like I just keep getting this, it doesn't mean that you need to hide out in your house or anything like that. Like, I'm not saying that. I mean, you got to take this, you know, as it resonates with you. But I know for me personally, I've been feeling it's almost like, it's not that you don't want to stand up for your values. You don't want to stand up for what it is that you're believing is, you know, right. But at the same degree, it almost feels as though this is, I mean, for me personally, I've been hearing stay out of the way. Just basically stay in that place of within myself. It doesn't mean that I can't participate publicly to some degree, but it you know, when I'm saying stay in, for me, it felt very much stay within my own intuition, follow myself, follow what it is that I hear, follow, you know, rather than paying attention to the news or paying attention to politicians or paying attention to, you know, information that may not be within my own integrity. I feel like I just need to stay within myself. And I keep feeling that coming through more and more as we go forward. And it's interesting, especially with what you just said in regards to, you know, hang tight, guys, hang tight. Like, I feel like this isn't the over. This isn't the end, you know. There's so much more that is coming, right?
There's something else I want to mention, and that's, you know, I don't believe, and I hope a lot of you have adopted this as well. You know, I don't believe for a second, that we're just randomly here seeing all of these chaotic things. I firmly believe that we're here for a reason. Somebody had posted something and I absolutely loved it and I want to echo it again. Somebody was like, I don't feel like this is the world I was supposed to be in.
Exactly.
And if you feel that way, please understand that you're right. It's not the world you're supposed to be in, because you're here to help create a new one. Us, people who are tuned into energy, people who care about what's happening psychically or emotionally with other people, they're the ones that are going to help shape the world in the appropriate image. And I don't know if, there's a written rule about exactly what this is supposed to be, the human experiment. I still do believe that it is quite a bit of an experiment with divinely guided purpose. Our free will allows us to do what we, feel that we want to, right? Whatever we kind of create to or intend. But there is divine guidance. We are still connected to our highest self, to God, to the universe, to source, to spirit. We have that connection. And I feel like, honestly, Kathy, to me, you had said something yesterday and it clicked. Between Aquarius and Taurus, there's going to be planets in Aquarius and in Taurus in the next month. And you said, bringing heaven down to earth. And that couldn't be more perfectly and poetically put, that the Aquarian nature of this broadcast. Okay, I want you all to think of this. You've all seen the Willy Wonka movie. Is it Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Yeah.
Or Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? What's the original one? Charlie?
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Do you remember when they were in the TV room and they shot the candy bar and it pixelated into millions of little particles above them?
Yes.
And then manifested in the TV, right?
Yeah.
That's such a perfect analogy of this Aquarian energy, bringing it to Taurus, Aquarian and Taurus vibe, literally sending information and bits and pieces of information and then physically manifesting it. A perfect idea or representation of what this energy is going to be like. And I think we're going to see, like I said, amazing advances in technology. And I think that's what we're doing, literally trying to bring a state of heaven to earth, making it real, making it tangible.
It's also too, that there's been such an influx of people that are really wanting to explore spirituality and really wanting to explore this other side, and finally really opening up to their gifts and allowing their own thought process turn into that intuition. So it's not just thoughts anymore. They're now following the intuition. And I find that there's a lot of ego death, if we want to put it into another form of words. It's like an ego death. And I feel like through that process, we're really starting to expand out. It's interesting. When I first started getting into, paranormal research, there was no such thing. Well, I mean, there was, like maybe Ed and Lorraine Warren, who were, pioneers in it. Well, I mean, I'm not that old, but you know what I'm saying, right? I think they were exploring in like the 50s or something, right? But, like when my daughters were young, there was nothing, when we were going through our own, paranormal, I guess, haunted experiences at that time, there was no such thing as paranormal investigation. And it wasn't until a few years later, when, things started happening again, that I started really exploring it and looking into it. But I was always using my own intuition at that same time. But the word psychic, the word medium, the word intuitive, the word empath, whatever you want to phrase it. I mean, basically, it really all embodies one, energy source of the fact of looking beyond. And, back then it was crazy. And I remember when I was growing up, I thought you guys were crazy. And when I say you guys, I mean other people. I always thought other people were crazy because I couldn't understand, like, how do you not know who's on the phone? Like, it's saying it so clearly. I'm hearing the ringing and I know who's on the phone. Why don't you guys get it? And I thought everybody else was nuts, right? Like, you know, for the longest time. Or I could tell when people were lying, or I could tell, you know, it was just like such a part of me. And I couldn't figure out why, you know, nobody else was in that, I guess, realm. Or I remember, you know, hearing stories from people, like once I kind of, I guess, you know, came out as a psychic or came out as a medium or whatever you want to call it, right? Once I started exploring it more publicly, I remember people coming up to me, you know, friends from high school, yeah, which I still have, or, you know, even friends from, you know, younger years. And they were saying like, well, it's about time. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And they were like, you were the one that was in the corner talking to who the frick, who knows what, you know, at parties, or you were the one that just knew things, or you were the one that we all brought our boyfriends and girlfriends to because you would know, you know, what they were going to be like, or you would know not to do something or not to take a job, or, you know, whatever it was. And I, you know, for me, that was just such a natural part of my life. And it's nice to see now as we're moving forward, like even people on the chat, I mean, we have some very, very strong intuitives, and which is why I feel sometimes so honored when you guys are coming here to watch us, because, you know, this is all about the collective, right? And there's no ego in it. There shouldn't be an ego in it. You know, we're not always going to be 100% right. Nobody's going to be 100%, you know, correct all the time. But collectively, as a group, we're going to be able to really look into the under realms of what is happening at times. And I think that's why, too, is I really love doing this show. I love doing this show with you. I love the people that are watching the show, even if you're not participating in chat. It's like, you know, it's just knowing that the people are there. They're opening up to things that we're not seeing on that 3D realm. They're allowing that expansion of that 5D coming through, and really truly listening not only to the messages from spirit, but listening to themselves.
That is the biggest thing that I keep telling people. Listen to yourself. Mm-hmm. Listen to that intuition. Like, with so much false information flying around, you have to listen to yourself. You have to know what's true for you. Yeah. Because that self is still connected to God, source, spirit, universe. You know, mm-hmm. It's still connected. And when you listen to yourself, you're ultimately enacting an act of God, an act of creation. So be clear in yourself. Don't let yourself be fed information from other people, whether it's me, whether it's mainstream news, whether it's whoever. Figure your own self out. You know, that is the one thing you are always going to be able to rely on. Absolutely. Absolutely. And a lot of people say, how come, you know, how come this particular psychic said this, or how come I'm getting contradicting information from different psychics? And we get that sometimes, you know, from clients. Well, this psychic said this, and this psychic said this. And ultimately, you know, we feel things, we see things, and there are, I guess I kind of want to give a warning to some degree, but it's not really a warning. There are people that are really starting to open up to all of this energy. And I do think that that's wonderful. I do think that, you know, absolutely this is needing to happen. And again, follow your own intuition. I do want to give a little bit of a warning, though, that there are people that are so new to opening up that they haven't exactly experienced everything that, there's a lot of energy going around right now of people just seeing the surface of things. And I know with you, Brandon, I know I work this way. I know many, many other intuitives that see that long term. Okay. So it's like following that faith. And I know that sometimes if we're going to different people, so over and over and over again, you know, there's a lot of, we've had clients where they'll go to you, they'll go to me, they'll go to someone else, they'll go to this, and they'll go to this, and they're getting contradicting information, because not everybody is going to, you know, see the same, or they might be receiving information from different sources, or they may not have the experience to see the long term. So I'm going to explain how I see things, and I'm going to let you explain how you see things as well, because I know that they're very similar. But
when I see things, you know, for me, it's like I take a hold of the energy. All right. So I'm able to see the energy of the current situation. Sometimes I'm shown snippets from the past. Sometimes, you know, whether this is coming in within visions, whether it's coming in, you know, with hearing things within my mind. Sometimes I'm just, you know, it's just the feeling of what it is. And then I take that energy and I don't put ego into it, because ego is the worst thing that can, a psychic or a medium, we don't always have to be right, and we're not going to be. So if I'm sitting there in a place of, oh, I'm right, you have to, you know, this is it. You know, it's like your track record will show that on its own. You don't need to be in that place of pushing your own agenda or pushing your own narrative, right? And a lot of times, you know, it's like, watch the energy. And a lot of times what happens, it's like a stream. And so I'll start to see spirit comes through and it tells me this, it tells me that. Okay, you know, what they need to do is they need to do this, they need to do it this way. This is what I'm seeing, this is what could happen. And it's like I'm shown this big ball of basically everything, which advances to an end result of some way by following a particular path. So I hope that that makes sense. So when I'm doing the readings, especially when I'm doing the mini readings, you know, a lot of times, you know, not so much particularly on this channel, but sometimes I've had people that will say to me, well, it hasn't quite happened yet. Okay, well, that's fine. That's not, you know, that doesn't matter. The point is that spirit is telling me something for a particular reason. Okay. And it's to follow that path. And then, you know, the next thing they'll know, they'll get into this energy where they have that faith and they have the belief, not so much particularly in me. It's not about having the faith or whatever it is in me. It's having it within spirit, because those are the messages that are coming through. And all of a sudden they'll be like, oh my God, exactly what everything that you have said came true. It might be a little bit delayed because of our lack of faith or our lack of whatever it is, by following the advice that is given through spirit. And I'm just going to explain, I'll let you explain how you work as well, because I know it's similar, but it is a little different.
To the capacity of receiving information, or how?
Yeah, how do you receive information a lot of times and give it to your clients? Because I know, especially, you know, having the special, I think it would be, you know, good for people to know, you know, how it is that you do things.
So for me, like, especially when I'm working with clients, so first of all, let me just kind of state this. I'm kind of always receiving information at all times. And I didn't realize that this was just, I mean, back when I was like 18, I didn't realize that this was like a whole psychic thing going on. It's just, I just constantly always knew things, and I thought everybody knew things. So when I started to hone my abilities and work with clients, what was able to take shape was like this direct feed, or this direct channel that I would create with my client with whom I was focused on. And it was all based on my consciousness and my conscious focus. So when I imagine my consciousness, my aura is like a laser, right? That laser light will shoot at that person, penetrate their aura, and I inherently feel everything that's going on. So that's why I ask clients to give me a question, a place that you know, I can focus on, because I'm literally experiencing life and reality as that person is, whomever I'm focused on. So when they ask me a question, then I can channel and specifically point out that area, you know, that they're looking into. So for me, it comes to me almost experiential. It's like it's happening to me right in that moment. And then, you know, I have a pretty good developed clairsentience. And so I'll start to feel, you know, whatever that person's feeling. And then subsequently the images come in. So my clairvoyance is really peaking at that moment, and I'll start seeing visions. I'll see the situation. I'll see what spirit is showing me, you know, as an event unfolding in the future, or if it's something that happened in the past. I'll literally see it as if it's happening to me. So clairvoyance is a big one for me. Clairsentience is even bigger. And I just kind of feel and see everything going on, and then I'll deliver, you know, that information succinctly. So I don't know. There's always that connection that's happening. Like when I'm maybe I'll tell this just so people understand, and maybe they feel similarly themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm always constantly in a psychic state where my subconscious and my conscious mind are
Connecting
blended together.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And it's just it's constantly happening. You know, it's like
a state of being.
Like, right. It's like
Mm-hmm.
looking through. It's like everybody else seems to be looking through eyes that are colorblind, and I'm seeing in full color, ultraviolet, all spectrum. Like I'm seeing in full color at all times. So I think, honestly, we can all get to that place. And I do think that it takes some focus and attention and training and teaching. But there are some of us, that are just naturally attuned to it. Just like there are people that are naturally attuned to, artistry and drawing. They're really good at that, or tinkering with their hands and mechanics. We all have natural affinities, but we can all learn, I think, to have these type of visions and impressions. So don't think that, this is just somebody talking who has some crazy gift that you can never have. That's not the case at all. We all can get to that space. And I think, honestly, like you had said, Kathy, and the people in the chat are talking about this awakening happening with people and humanity. I think we're all getting to these levels now. There was like a lot of us that had our awakening a good 12 years ago. There was a huge moment of awakening.
Absolutely.
At that time.
And that's about the time that I actually that's about the time that I actually started really looking into paranormal investigation, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And
so we had our awakening at the same time then.
Yeah. Because my son was about 3 at the time, and we were experiencing, we had already just experienced, we had just, moved from one place that was so incredibly active, let's just say. And I do interviews a lot, for different paranormal teams or different, paranormal shows, that sort of thing. And I was actually just talking about this on, a couple weeks ago, and I had done a show, and it was funny because we were literally like, those horror movies where you see the entire family sleeping in one room. That was me and my daughters. Yeah. And it was like, it's like, you move over and there's a kid on this side, and nobody's, and my youngest was, quite young at the time. But it was crazy. It's like, you're not left alone because everybody's scared to live alone in that house. Like, we're scared to be alone in that house. Right. And my kids wouldn't go to bed until I did. And then when I went to bed, it was like, poof, they were right there. And, this continued going on until I sold the house. And then, I did. And, moved into this place. And now my son, when he was born, same kind of thing started happening. It was over and over and over again. And that's how I, really started awakening. But it was interesting because when I was, first a mom, I really shut off a lot of my gifts. It's not that you're not using your intuition. You've just got other shit to deal with, right? And, you got PTA stuff, and you got mom stuff, and you got, at the time I was married, and, you get wife stuff, and you got all of this other stuff going on. So I wasn't like, sitting there going, like, oh, I'm picking up, right? It's like, I got a diaper to change. I got dishes to do. I got vacuuming to do. I got work to do. Yeah. You got a life, right? Like, basically is what it comes into. You got a life. And then when my son started experiencing things, that's when I kind of went, whoa, okay, I got to do something about this. And he was about 3 at the time. And we had experienced things before that, but around that time is where it really started getting kind of crazy. And yeah, so that, for me personally, that's when I really started allowing all of these messages and really started exploring it and going on in investigations. And then when I went on investigations, I was like, boom, 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 boom. This is what I feel is happening. And all of this stuff was starting to get confirmed by clients and by others that had already, been through that energy. So it was kind of crazy, like, for me, how it went. But it was a long journey. You have to take the time. You have to understand why things are coming through, why things are happening. All of this stuff, like, it's not a matter of waking up, oh, I'm a psychic, I'm going to start doing readings. You can't do that simply because of the fact that you're responsible for what it is that you're revealing to people. You can't take other people's lives in your hands lightly. Yes, it is entertainment to some degree. We don't want to be responsible for the, but there is free will. There is, messages from spirit. And that's basically what, I know for me, that's, very important. Like, we've worked hard to get to where we are. It wasn't just a matter of waking up one day and going, oh, I'm going to go do tarot. I'm going to go, talk about other people's lives. I'm going to tell them how to do things. Like, this is a process, and it took years of a lot of work and a lot of internal shadow work and a lot of internal releasing of fears and a lot of like moving forward to, elements and realms that you didn't really even knew existed. Right. And I was just sort of reading. But one of the things too is, it was interesting because a lot of people talk about cleansing, and I just kind of want to, go into that. And a lot of people say, well, if you're having something, just cleanse it. And I'm going to tell you a really quick story about why. Particularly, it's not that I don't believe in saging. I do believe in saging. I do believe in, clearing an energy of a room. But I'm going to tell you something, people that go into places and start doing a cleansing of negative energies or negative spirits, or they have somebody over doing, a dance with for control dolls to get rid of something or whatever it is, banging a Bible. That shit irritates the crap out of me. But the reason for that is one of my first investigations, we walked into a place, and this is where I really started, starting to open up and seeing things. And it was funny because there was another medium with me at the time, and we were both starting to see the exact same thing. And it literally looked like a lizard, like a big giant freaking lizard. And I thought, am I crazy? Like, what the hell am I looking at? Right? Like, I like, what the hell did I drink before I came here? You're starting to really wonder, right? And he says, I think I'm crazy because I'm literally seeing a freaking lizard. And I'm like, what? Like, okay, now so there's something going on here, right? And it was interesting because that particular home, it was really the father that they were, that was experiencing a lot of things. So there's a mother, father, but they were, second family. So she had kids, he had kids, and they were all living in one house. And as we were walking through this house, it was almost like this lizard thing, whatever it was showing us like through visions of different things. And we came to one room. And what it was showing us in, I guess, I want to say vision, like through visions, was there was locks on the outside of the girl's bedroom. And it was obviously being shown to us that there was things going on from the father or the stepfather to these little girls. That was heartbreaking. Okay. Unfortunately, at this point, how do you deal with that? What do you do? What do you say? You can't really, you have no proof, except you can't go to the cops and say, well, this big giant lizard just showed me. Like, you're going to come off as crazy, right? And at the same degree, again, because of the fact that, maybe there's an interpretation that we're not quite understanding here. You don't want to go and accuse somebody of something, again, based upon a psychic impression. All right. And so what we ended up doing is, because of the fact of all of this going on, we just sort of backed out of the case, and we said, look, we're not going to take this case, simply because of the fact that ethically and morally, we just can't. We're just going to take a step back. And that was it. No kidding. A week later, the mother contacted us and said, because it was really the father that had been getting a lot of the psychic attacks. Okay. Like, he was waking up with scratches. He was dropping stuff. He was like, he was cutting himself. Like, all of this stuff was happening to him more than the rest of the family. And so what we really, the mother contacted us about a week later, and she said, could you please come, could you come back? He's gone. I kicked him out. He's getting charged for sexual abuse on my daughters. Exactly what we were seeing through these visions. Okay, right? Here's the thing. So to us walking in, if we didn't, if we put our own interpretation upon seeing this lizard, as I know some paranormal groups will do, some mediums will do, some psychics will do, they will go, okay, you know, this thing is bad. This thing is bad. It's a bad entity. It's an elemental. It's whatever it is. Let's cleanse it out. Let's get rid of it. We're going to smack it with a few Bibles. We're going to, you know, sing Kumbaya and get rid of this thing. That thing was protecting those girls. And if we had gotten rid of it, there could have been worse that had happened. Mm-hmm. And this is why I don't, you know, when people say, I'm going to pay somebody to come and cleanse my house, or I'm going to do this, or, you know, this psychic says that I have to, you know, I don't know, like I said, sing Kumbaya and, you know, wave around freaking 10 Bibles.
Do some magic
spells or whatever the shit. Yeah, I am so against that.
Could have made it way worse.
Right. And so for those of you, I think I am going to do a video at some point about saging, because saging is very beneficial. Okay. But when we sage, what we want to do is ask for peace, love, and prosperity, because that's going to be allowed in our house. We don't need to say anything about anything negative, because quite honestly, we don't really know what the negative, it might feel negative, like this lizard thing that we saw. But was it negative? Okay, it was negative to the dad, of course, but it also helped, you know, create a chain of events that helped remove him from this residence. You know, if we had gotten rid of him, what would have happened? We don't know the reason why things are around or things come in. What may feel negative may be, you know, we always have to have balance, as above, so below. Right? We have to have a balance, and things that may feel negative, or things that may feel on a darker energy, also have a lighter energy that counteracts it. And that's what we have to remember as we move through, you know, the next little while. So, you know, even if you are feeling a negative energy, also remember that negative has to be balanced by light. So where is the light? Maybe that's what you need to be focusing in on, rather than particularly the negative. Again, it doesn't mean not to follow your intuition or your own senses, but you don't need to take it all as one or the other. So this is what we're talking about with balance, right?
Yes, absolutely. Balance is absolutely essential.
Yeah.
If you're in doubt, you don't know what's needed, just ask for divine light. Like you said, peace, love, prosperity, and ask for balance. You know, if you don't know exactly what to manifest, if you don't know exactly what to focus on, always ask for balance in whatever situation it is, or, you know, prosperity, love, or some sense of peace.
Absolutely. We need that. We need that as people. We just need that, you know, going through, you know, whatever situation you're in. It's the balance that really makes that difference. Where is the balance within your energy, within everything else, the things that are around you? And when we talk about meditation, when we talk about intuition, it's all about the balance. And, you know, people that are spending their time on that dark side are not allowing that light to come in. People that are, you know, in the light all the time are not allowing that shadow energy to come in, right? Because if you're always in the light, if you're always happy, how are you cleansing out that negative that needs to come through to some degree in order to release it? We need both. So I was just crazy. And I don't know why I felt like I needed to tell everybody this, but it really felt important at that time. So I'm thinking,
gotta follow that.
What's that?
You gotta follow that.
Yeah. It just felt like it was really important at that time to talk about. So, I'm thinking maybe we should start getting into some readings. And
yeah, why don't we refresh everybody on the rules for the giveaway, or how to submit.
Okay.
And they can do that while we are giving readings here, and then hang tight to the end. I'm going to remind you to hang tight to the end if you've submitted, because Kathy wants you to be here live to be able to receive the prize here.
Yeah. So basically, so this, where did I just put it? Hang on a second. So we are going to be giving away this Organite. Okay. We're going to be sending it to the winner of the name that we draw. Brandon has the names. And you need to be a subscriber on my channel. You do need to be following me on Facebook or Instagram, one or the other. Doesn't matter if you're following me on both. Great. Thank you so much. So it's a subscriber on YouTube, also a follower on Instagram or Facebook at Oracle Intuitions. All of the links are in the description box below. Also, you need to share my channel publicly in order to have your name submitted. So what you can do is you can actually message me at either through Instagram, through Facebook, or if you want to send it through email, the email address is oracleintuitions1111@gmail.com. And as we're going through the readings here, it'll still give you some time in order to submit for get your name in for the draw. How does that sound? I think I covered it all. I think I covered it all. Yeah. So I think what we're going to do is we'll start with a few readings while Brandon is getting that all together. Do you want to explain how that's going to work, Brandon, for you? Because I want to make it as easy for you as possible.
What do you mean?
Submitting for the readings.
Oh, okay. So I see we have some new people here. I want to be able to have the people that are new that haven't received a reading before to have a chance first. So what we'll do is we'll open the readings in just a second. And if you are new here and you've not received a reading before, you'll be able to submit your questions first, and then we'll go to our faithful and regular listeners here and be able to get some questions in there. I know you did want to make sure we were concise on time.
Yes.
So let me ask, if you don't mind, let me ask the listeners, do you all mind, what would you all prefer? Would you prefer if we got everybody in with very short, quick readings? They could be 1 minute to 3 minutes long. Or would you prefer to have a more selected list where we can still go a little bit in depth with you, but we might not get to everybody? What do you all think? I'd be interested to hear your opinion here. Because we can do both. Obviously you and I can get long-winded when we tap into something.
Us? Don't be silly.
So us? What?
Don't be silly. Never long-winded. Some people are saying a selective list. Also remember, guys, too, is that we are offering, specials on both of our sites, too, if you do want longer readings. So that might be, something that people want to take a look into. So.
All right, well, everybody's looking like they want selective here. I feel like we can do a little bit of blend of both, where we can do...
I think what we'll do is anybody that comes on after this, we'll cut that list.
Okay.
So we'll try and maybe, keep...
So if they're here now, they
can submit. But after this, as of this point, they're no more. How does that sound?
That sounds good to me. So first, we're only going to open the readings for those of you that are new here. For new viewers. All right, so please submit your questions here.
Yeah.
All right, I've got the list open.
Okay, awesome.
Reading list. All right, so first.
So while you're doing that, I'm actually going to babble on about something else just for a really quick, short amount of time while people are submitting their questions and stuff like that. I saw a meme this week that I thought was brilliant. And I think that, because I know that a lot of people, when we're doing readings, most of it is about love. It's about relationships, all of that. And I saw this meme this week that I thought was beautiful. It really was. And it said, and it can be taken for any gender. It doesn't need to be, you know, feminine specific, but, you know, even though the meme was feminine specific, but it basically said a woman or a queen doesn't beg for a fool to stay in her life. And as we're moving forward with this, I kind of just want to send out that reminder to people. You know, here's the thing, and it really reminded me of the tarot, okay, in some ways, because, and again, it doesn't need to be gender specific. So when we talk about the Fool, what is the Fool? You know, a lot of people say, well, he hasn't called, he hasn't messaged, he hasn't texted. Here's the thing, unless you're looking at your person, again, male or feminine, when we say, well, they haven't done this, should I do this? Should I do that? Should I send this out? Should I, you know, make waves in some sort? Should I be doing this? Do you think, are you referring to your person as the Fool? Because what is the Fool? They're immature. They're like kind of like an imbecile, right? They're not that smart. And, you know, first of all, are you going after somebody who embodies those qualities? But second of all, is if your person has figured out how to use Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, I think that they know how to message you. They figured it out. If they're not doing it, there's a reason. Okay. Does that mean you need to go chase them down? Look, at a queen does not need to chase a fool. So why are you chasing after that fool? All right. So I'm going to just leave that sort of there. But what does a queen need? What does a queen embody? What is a queen? What is the counterpart to the queen? The counterpart is the king. So what is a king? He's strong within himself. He owns his kingdom. He knows how to text. He knows how to use a phone. He knows how to pick it up. He knows what it is that he wants. The king goes after what it is that he wants because he's already king of that kingdom. He's going after what it is that is dear and near to his heart, which is that queen. And again, you know, roles can be reversed, right? But because they don't need to be gender specific. But basically what it's saying here, you know, is if there's somebody that knows how you feel about them, they know that you're caring about them. They know that you're there for them. They know, and they're playing the fool. Honey, we don't need this. You don't need this, right? Embrace that king. You need to embrace that king's energy. And here's the funny part is that, you know, the other thing that we're talking about is a lot of people will say, well, I'm a princess. Women will say this, I'm a princess. Well, okay, what is a princess? A princess needs rescuing. A princess needs to, you know, have that knight that comes in and rescues her. She needs, you know, she's the one that doesn't know herself. She doesn't take care of herself. It's not that she can't take care of herself. I'm sure she knows, you know, she has hygiene. I don't mean it that way, but she needs somebody to come in and take care of her all the time. She needs that knight. And what is the knight? The knight always has to be the hero. He's the one that's always trying to rescue people. He's got to be there for somebody, blah, blah. But the thing is with the knight will chase after whatever is shiny. Okay. So if you're not in need of rescuing and you're dating a knight, or you're wanting that knight to come in and rescue you, the next time somebody needs rescuing, guess where he's going? So it's just something to think about, right? Where do you want to be? You want to be in that energy of that queen. You want to have that king, or the king needs his queen. All right. It doesn't mean that, you know, here's the interesting thing. A smart queen can be independent within herself. She's strong within herself. She's, you know, she's reliable. But here's the thing. She's smart enough to recognize the masculine part of that king, and she embraces it. And she says, you know what? You don't need to rescue me. I don't need to rescue you. We're a partnership. We're working together. We are supporting each other, and we are moving forward. I don't need to chase you. You're not chasing me. We are moving forward together. And I feel like, you know, once I saw that meme, all of this information was just like, it just kept flooding. And I was like, you know what? I need to talk about this, because I think that this is so important. And especially, you know, hearing from people, well, he's not doing. Remember, he's not an imbecile. Don't chase after the fool. They're not imbeciles. They know what it is that they do. They know how to use text. They know how to pick up a phone. They know how to ask you out on a date. They know how to do this. Okay. So where is it that you want to be? Do you want to be with the king? Right? Or do you want to be with the knight who always has to rescue somebody who's chasing after something else that's shiny, something else that needs his rescuing? Or do you want to be with the fool who apparently you think is a moron because they can't figure out how to use a text, and to call you? No, you want to be with that king. You want to be with that king. So after saying that, let's get into it and see what is going on here.
All right. So first up, we have Xena here.
Hello, Xena.
So Xena would like to know, can I have a channeled message from Steven? Thank you. Like, what does he want to say to me? Thank you.
Okay, Xena, I need some more information. Are you guys already together? Are you like in a relationship with each other? I'm hearing the first thing that I'm actually hearing. So I may not be able to get a full channeled message here. But what I am hearing is something about there needs to be patience within this relationship. There needs to be an energy of, I feel like he's really working on something. This actually literally could be work, or it could be we're not together, we had an argument and we haven't spoken. Okay. Yeah, there needs to be some sense of patience in here. I do feel that he's working on something, or I don't know whether this is within himself, but it almost feels externally. Like I almost want to say there's an element of school or work or learning something. There's a lot of learning elements that are coming through here. When did you have this argument? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't feel like this argument, whatever it was, is going to be, but I feel like there's some sort of sense of pushing. Okay. Like a sense of pushing, perhaps, from you in some way. And I feel like he has to get into his own element of where it is that he is. Like he's basically trying to create his stability. What I keep getting. He's trying to, oh yes, there's pushing for me. Okay. So like he's trying to create his stability. He's trying to ground himself. He's trying to get ready for a future. And I do feel that you could be a part of that future, but there needs to be a sense of patience right now. I do feel him returning. I'm actually hearing about 2 weeks. About 2 weeks. I feel like it's going to be before Christmas. Okay. But I feel like it's also really important for you to just completely back off at this point. Don't push the energy. Just let it be. Okay. I don't feel that this is going to be a long argument, but I'm really just getting that he needs grounding within himself, and he needs that break. He needs that space in order to, put all of that together. I hope that makes sense. And I hope that helped. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. So it looks like it's getting confirmed. All right. From Jenna and okay. Yeah, I really do. I do feel like, this guy has a lot of feelings for you. There's a lot of love there. But this can't be pushed. Like it can't be forced. It can't be, manipulated. And I don't mean that you're manipulating. I just mean that the energy itself can't be manipulated at this time. Like you can't be pushing forward at this moment, because it's almost as though he needs to settle. He needs to ground. He needs to put his roots into the ground in some way, whether this is through work or, again, some sort of releasing within himself or stability within himself. So I hope that's helped. I'm just sort of reading the I don't know. Are there any did that help at all? Sorry. Yes, that helped. Yeah, okay, good. Okay. Yeah. Okay. yeah, the next one, I guess. Yeah, I'm glad that helped. It just it does. It feels like he's on his way back, but just give him some time right now.
All right, thank you, Xena. Remember, if you have submitted for the crystal giveaway, please stick around. We'll be doing the drawing at the end of the show.
And you do have to
will
be.
Send me
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
The updated list here.
Yeah.
So you can still submit now if you want to receive an entry to win a crystal. If you want to show them that crystal again, Kathy. You all can still submit an entry.
I'll do like the YouTubers.
Go ahead, you can tell them the parameters of it.
You know how they always show things on YouTube?
Right, put the hand behind
the Instagram.
Zoom. Let it
Oh, wait a minute, I have to make a duck face. Like that. Right. Yeah. So, okay. This is I think duck face, half naked. Like that. There we go. Okay. We're good. But yeah, so that's going to be Jen is laughing at me. Yeah, so that at the end of the show we're going to be giving that away. All right. Next.
All right, next up is Star. Star would like to know, will me and Alex speak again in this lifetime?
Say that one more time. You and Alex will be...
Star would like to know, will me and Alex speak again in this lifetime?
Okay. Yes. What is Alex's... Can you give me a birth date? It doesn't need to be a full birth date. I just need his... even his star sign is fine. I just need to make a deeper connection with this. What I am getting is, it's interesting because I don't feel like you guys are apart, which is really weird. It almost feels like there's a togetherness within this energy of some sort. I'm not exactly sure what that's about. It doesn't feel like, it almost doesn't feel like a separation. I don't know if that even makes sense, because if you're saying, you know, are we going to speak again? I'm assuming there's a separation of some sort. Okay, October 21st. He is a Libra. It's interesting. Yeah, I feel like you guys are going to speak again on some level. It feels like there's a real tie within the energy between the two of you. I almost want to say, like, I don't know when the last time you guys spoke was, or, you know, anything along that line, but it feels as though this energy is going to be coming back, because it doesn't feel like it's literally separated. Like, it almost feels as though you two are a couple, even though you're probably not a couple, you know, obviously, if you're not speaking, right? So I want to say yes, that is going to be the best way to answer it. I don't really know what else to say, you know, within that. He is a part of my soul tribe. I've been feeling it a lot lately. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I feel like the fact that you are feeling it is kind of like how I'm feeling it. It's like you haven't separated. It's like there's still that bond. There's still that connection between the two of you. Things are still moving forward. I feel like this was, you both needed learning lessons of some sort. You both needed some sort of evolution within your energies. Like, something needed to separate in order to bring the two. It's like you guys are going to come back together. I don't know if it's going to be back together, but I do feel that there's going to be that reconnection between the two of you for sure, like some sort of communication, some sort of whatever it is. But I feel like it's going to be on a deeper level. Like, you guys have both gone through some sort of spiritual uplifting, spiritual lessons, spiritual learning that was extremely beneficial to you. But I'm going to tell you, Star, as soon as I tapped into that energy, what I felt was that you two are already a couple. I'm just going to leave it there.
I feel that too.
Do you
like
I'm not crazy, right? Like, you know, like I literally, I thought that, like, I was like, okay, what is she talking about? Because it feels like these two are like already, I want to say
that
like
energy is already there.
Yeah, like they're already married, they're already whatever it is, but it is
that bond
there.
is.
Yeah.
So anytime that this happens to me, I always interpret this as that, the psychic emotional bond is there. And sometimes the physical isn't supporting it, just because we do have free will and egos and other stuff. But you two are absolutely connected in spirit and emotion. The one thing I keep seeing, I'm sorry to jump in, Kathy.
No, go ahead.
I keep
That's
seeing
fun.
this.
Yeah.
Spirit keeps telling me that Star are being led by intuition to this void, to this unknown. And that feels super important right now, because when you do tap into quote unquote the void, when you're in a place where things are unknown, that's essentially when you give up or surrender to spirit, right? And because they're showing me that this bond is still felt and it's currently held in spirit, in a higher frequency, a higher form, then in order to get to it, you have to surrender into the void and the unknown. I feel like Star might be afraid of this unknown place of like, oh, things aren't defined. It's not perfectly defined. I need to have this. But when in all reality, the thing that is needed to be done to manifest the relationship and physical is to jump into that void and the unknown. So I find it really cool that we're both connecting on the fact that it feels like they're bonded already. It already feels like it's there.
It was just so strong. Like as soon as you said his name, I was like, what is she talking about? Like, are they gonna, like, that was my first thought. It was almost like you guys were already there. You're already together. This is already being formed for you. Just Brandon, I'm just gonna stop for I'm just gonna add, I'm just sending you a couple more names.
Okay.
And I'm just going to stop talking because otherwise I'm, who knows what the hell I'm going to say. All right.
Don't be too afraid, Star. Surrendering to the unknown is essentially you saying, you know what, God, source, spirit, highest self, I trust you. I trust that you're going to bring me to my highest good, whatever that is, whatever that looks like. And I know it can be scary. I mean, it's definitely a nerve-wracking feeling. It's like, oh my God, I'm not in control. If I'm not in control, nothing's going to happen. But that's definitely not the case. That's just the human brain, the mind, the ego that's like unsure and kind of getting a little freaked out. So the more, okay, here, I want you to take this away, Star. The fact that Kathy and I are picking up on this bond already being there should affirm to you that the two of you have some kind of soul bond together, okay? And the fact that it's happening on a higher frequency level, meaning it is of a more spiritual connection currently, which you do share emotions. You're going to feel that constant wave and tide and flow and flux all over. Yes. And in order to manifest something spiritually, we have to be in that level, that place ourselves, to even bring it down to physical manifestation. So I think the more that you dive into your own spirituality, diving into the unknown, going into the void or the surrender, the more that you're actually going to be able to manifest it physically. That is how it's always worked. Think of, just look around your room, wherever you're sitting right now. Everything around you was once an idea. The pencil, the pen, the desk, the phone, the laptop, everything was first an idea. And then somebody said, hey, you know what? I want to bring this into physical form. And they invented it. They created it. We're literally surrounded by people's ideas made manifest physically. It's that same kind of energy. So the more that you focus on that, I think you're going to be able to manifest that physically, because Kathy and I are already seeing that the bond is there.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, you know,
just have to be in the right space.
It was so clear. So clear. Yeah.
All right. Let me get up on these chats here.
Sounds good.
Shall we go to the next? Thank you, Star. All right. Next is going to be Marlene.
Hello, Marlene.
Marlene would like to know, am I really clairvoyant? Well, let me just say, Marlene, yes, you are, but I feel that you're very similar to me. I think you have clairsentience as your main psychic thing, but it looks like it kind of comes through, information comes through clairvoyantly. So I just want to confirm that for you because I can feel you. And then I think what she's really asking here, does Giovanni have someone else in his life? Why does he push me away?
Okay. I feel another person within his life. I'm not getting, I need to explain. I don't know if I need, how much I need to explain this, because I do feel like, as Brendan said, you already have that clairvoyance, that clairaudience, that, you know, like you're able to already tap into a lot of this energy. What I am getting is that there is another party involved in some manner. I am not, however, getting that this is a deep romantic. It almost, the first thing that comes through for me is it feels as though this is more like maybe a friendship. I hate to say this, I want to say this person's almost a convenience for them. Like a convenience in a way of, you know, they don't care about, I don't know how to explain this. There's not enough emotion within Giovanni towards this person to put them in any sort of label or box or mental state. It almost feels like they can be very comfortable with this person. They can do whatever the heck they want. You know, I almost feel like it's like he's allowing himself. Do you ever, you know, those people, like you really, it's not that we shouldn't be ourselves, okay? But there's a difference between being ourselves and then also being, you know, somebody who's just crude and lewd and like you don't really care about the person enough that you're, it's not, again, it's not that you're not being yourself, but you're just being like the worst version of yourself with this person. I kind of get that impression that that's how he is with them. Like he can discard them. He can, if he feels like talking to them, he'll talk to them. If he doesn't feel like talking to them.
She's laughing about that, so.
What's that?
She's laughing about that, so that must be
okay. Okay, because it just feels like there's nothing, like, yeah, you're there. I'm just, that's exactly what I'm getting. Like, it's like this person, whoever this is, and I'm not really even getting that it's romantic. I can't give you clarification regarding sexually in any sort, but I just feel like this person, like whoever they are, is so low on the scale as far as Giovanni's like thought process towards them, that they're seeing like the worst version of him. But it feels like this is helping is to create a better version towards you at some point going forward, perhaps in the future. Okay. It doesn't mean that you should hang on or wait for him, you know, because if that's the image that he wants to give out to people, whether it's, I mean, really, here's the bottom line. Do we really want to be with somebody who's just going to be an a-hole to anybody? Probably not. Right. So I feel like that's something that, you know, if he needs somebody in his life where he can just be a jerk, why would we want to have that person around us? Right. It doesn't mean that we can't be ourselves, but ourselves don't need to be assholes either. Right. I hope that YouTube doesn't slice me for that one, but whatever, I'm going to say it anyway. So that's what I'm getting. So I kind of feel like wait for his better version to show up for you. And the reason that there isn't that contact is I feel like his better version isn't quite ready for what it is. You're on here. You're here on that scale of of being a person, being a woman, being open, being beautiful. You're like the Empress, and he's way down here in like worm mode quite yet. Okay, so you got to let him come up a little bit, like, you know, and you know, but again, you don't really want somebody who is spending time with somebody else and presenting their worst elements. Like that's, you know, nobody deserves that. right? No matter what that person is or what it is that they embody, nobody deserves that energy. So I kind of feel like he's not quite ready yet, and give him some time. But again, don't hang on and wait. So I hope that that's helped. Did she say anything? I'm not sure if she's if she's there or not. So
Marlene, she had laughed earlier.
okay.
So I think she's here.
Oh yeah, she just said yes, I'm here. Did that make sense to you? Or maybe that wasn't her. Maybe that's HK.
Oh no, yeah, that was somebody else. That's HK.
Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna leave it at that though, because that is really what I was feeling, and that's what came in. I do feel that you have a lot of abilities. I'm really, it's interesting because I keep hearing clear audio, like it's like you hear things as well as not only see things. So that's something I'm just gonna leave for right now, I think. And then if she comes back, that would be great.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Marlene. All right, so we're going to move on to HK. We have a couple more. Let's just make sure, sound off in the chat for our new viewers. I wonder if some people are in and out. So we have HK, Lala, Beauty 2020, and Levity Green. Beauty 2020, I'm not sure if you're still here, but if you could make sure you let us know in the chat as you are up on the list, then we'll open it to our regulars. We'll do a few of those, and then we'll do the giveaway. Just to make sure, I'm just going to list some of the names that I have, and if you have entered, you can correct me. So I've got Cathryn, I've got Single Man, I've got Tammy, I've got Brittany, I've got Melissa, I've got Christina, and I've got Shafi and Thekatobai. So if I did not call your name, I do not have your entry. So make sure that you get that in before we do the drawing. So next is going to be HK.
Okay. Oh, I just saw Marlene is back. I don't know. I hope that made sense to you. This was the same lady, right? That we were just doing the reading for?
Yeah, Marlene. Yeah,
Marlene.
Yeah.
Okay. So I hope that helped for you. Okay.
All right. Lala says they have entered the giveaway.
Jenna, yes, you are entered. Sorry. Yeah, Jenna is on there as well.
I don't have Jenna's name.
Oh, don't you have them?
Did you send me an updated list?
No, just to add to the other list.
Oh, wait. I do have a Jenna.
Yeah.
On that list. Where did I? Okay.
And
I must have skipped over one. Okay.
Keto Bay is also Lala, so just wanted to add that one.
Which one was that? Okay, Jenna, I've got you.
And
Tobe? Is that Lala you said?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I'm sending you another one as well.
Okay. I just put Lala down there just to make sure. My bad, Jenna.
Okay.
All right. So HK, batter up. Oh, January 1989. Good year, HK. Good year. And Capricorn. All right. So when you're ready, Kathy.
Okay. Hang on. I'm just sending you a...
Anybody else have that Christmas song stuck in their head? I've got that one by Mariah Carey, Ariana Grande, and Jennifer Hudson stuck in my head. That line, like, promise that I'm gonna give you milk and cookies. Like, it is on repeat in my brain right now.
You're crazy. No, I'm just teasing.
Luxury States.
You got it?
I've got Luxury State. All right. And I've got Jenna.
So you're a good singer. Why don't you sing more often? We could have like an opening theme.
All the time.
Right? Could have an opening theme.
All the time.
Brandon. I think that would be actually kind of cool.
All right. Oh, okay. So Marlene is not up to date at the time, so that makes sense. So if you had any other clarifying questions, Marlene, you can throw them in there and we can try and get back to them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's move on to HK. HK, here we go. You ready, Kathy?
Yep.
All right. HK wants to say thank you already for your time today.
Good, thank you.
The question
You're
is,
welcome.
how is my POI's energy reading about me? I messaged them on Thanksgiving, but haven't received a response yet. So HK is January 19th, and POI is April 3rd.
Okay. April 3rd. What sign is that? Is that Aries?
It's Capricorn and Aries.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, you are going to hear from them. I actually feel like you're going to hear from them before Christmas. Their energy right now, though. I'm going to be honest with you. I feel, well, I'm always honest, but you know what I mean? It's like it feels like there is a little bit of a partition, a wall at this moment between the two of you. I'm not exactly sure what this is about. It feels like, okay, what the vision I'm showing, or I'm being shown, is almost as though you're kind of pushing on this wall a little bit. Okay, pushing on the wall, and I kind of feel like they're backing up a little bit. So I don't know if this is the energy that you're sending off. I don't think it particularly has to do with their text or anything like, or the text that you sent to them. And it's interesting because on the other side of the wall, what I see is a person, a man sitting there kind of like this. And it almost to me represents that Four of Cups energy, which is, you know, kind of turning your back towards something. But I don't feel like this is exactly turning their back. I feel like this is more that Four of Swords energy, where they're in a place of rest. They're in a place of contemplation. They need to sit and think. It almost feels like it almost feels like somebody who's been put in the corner, like they have to go sit in the corner and they need to think about what they did. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, or they need to think about their next step, or they need to think about their next move. They need to think about, you know, something. And what I get from that is that you need to just stop pushing on the wall. Okay, energetically, emotionally, like basically just take a step back, okay, and allow them to figure out what it is that they're trying to figure out. Because I literally am sitting there and I see them like this. It's like they're blocking off everything around them, okay, not just your energy. It's almost like they're doing everything grudgingly. I don't know how to explain it. It's like, because I'm being shown other energy coming up to them, not in a romantic sense or anything like that, but I you know, it's almost like friends or family or something. And they're just like, oh, if I have to go, if I have to do this, if I have to do that. It's like, you know, like a kid that's like shuffling along with their head on the ground, moving forward. And so what I'm getting here is, I feel like you need to just take a step back, let them figure out their own, whatever this is at this time. I do feel them stepping forward. I feel like you are going to hear something around Christmas. It may not be exactly before Christmas, it may not be on Christmas Day, it might be right after Christmas, but I do feel that there's something coming forward before the end of the year. But you need to take a complete step back at this point. It almost, I don't feel that this even has anything to do with you. This is within their own energy, their own whatever the heck is going on. I want to say, and you may want to confirm this with me in the comments, I want to say there's a seasonal depression that may be happening for this person at this time. And I almost feel like it hits every year. So if you've known them for a while, again, you may be able to confirm, in regards to that, because I'm hearing that this is not something new for them. Like this, this has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with people around them. It really, truly feels like some sort of seasonal depression that comes through on a regular basis for them. So I hope that helped. So right now, just let them be. Just let them be is what I'm getting.
HK said, we separated a year ago, which was his decision, wondering if he's contemplating that, and then says, I think he has suffered from depression in the past.
Yeah. Because I do, like, what I keep getting is that this doesn't have to do with anybody in particular or anything around it. Like, literally, I just felt that this was within them. Like, this is something that they struggle with, that they go through. Every movement, it felt like it was just like, a teenager or a kid, that has that, like, oh, if I have to, okay. And it was just so, like, energy, so heavy, so burdensome. So just let it be for right now. I do feel like, you're going to hear something from them, but I wouldn't put a rush on it. I wouldn't push at that wall is what I keep feeling. Just, you have to kind of just let this be for right now. They might even seriously need some help, like clinical help, but not from you help. Like, I wouldn't suggest this or anything like that, but this might be something that they may have to seek at some point if they haven't already, seeked help for it. But, saying that doesn't mean, go jump to the rescue or anything like that. You don't need to message them and talk to them about it. They'll figure it out. But I do feel like something is coming through, like some sort of communication from them coming through. It may not be long conversation. Okay, might be just a Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays or, thanks for saying Happy Thanksgiving. It might be it, but at least it'll be a breakthrough at this point. Okay, so I hope that's helped.
I just want to add one thing as we close out. Thank you, HK. I just keep feeling, HK, when I tapped into your energy, I'm not personally connected to your question here, but I will say I keep receiving this impression when I tap into your energy that you're about to unlock a massive amount of abundance. I don't know what it is, where it's coming from. It feels more like work or something that is owed to you in some way. But I just keep seeing this vision of you unlocking a massive amount of abundance. Like, it feels like a dam, and all this pressure of the water behind the dam is ready to overflow. So
maybe that's where that wall I was feeling was coming in through too. It just,
that very well could be. That very, very well could be. So I wanted to throw that out there because I just keep seeing it over and over, and it feels important for you to know. So hang on to that. Now, Marlene is definitely very far behind.
Okay. I'm watching and I'm like, who is she responding to what we just said for HK?
So, as I had mentioned before, we could throw a little clarifying because you were asking.
Oh, she said that it did help.
Yeah. So the one thing that she had asked is if she should let go or not. If she should let him go.
For right now, I would. For right now, I would. Yeah. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. And I feel like people get a lot of, confusion with that. Giving up is giving up. That's basically just, there's no hope, right? Like, when we give up, we're letting go of hope. What I get is, don't hang on to that. Like, don't hang on to the energy. Just let it go. Go do your life. He's got some growing up to do. He's got some, balancing that he needs to create within himself. I feel just let it go for now. Like, let it be. Go deal with your life. Go do the things that are important for you at this point. That's what I get. Yeah.
All right, perfect. All right, let's move on to Lala here. Remember, everyone, you still can submit an entry to win the Organite Giveaway. And Kathy will have me update that list as you send in your entries. So next is Lala. Make sure we've got Lala here. Then again, I don't see Beauty 2020, so we might be skipping over them on the reading list. So Beauty 2020, if you're here, please give a shout out or you're going to miss your spot. And Levity Green and Shanu. Okay, there's Beauty 2020. Perfect. All right, so Lala, I would like to know, how does RNP feel about me now? Will he contact me this month? Thank you.
Sagittarius. Give me 1 second here. There's a lot of energy for December. It's like a lot of moving ahead, and I feel like I'm going to become a broken record here, and I don't want to do that. But at the same degree, you know, you're just following what it is that you're getting. It's like there's a lot of breakthrough energy. There's a lot of strong. It's like a lot. Okay. And well, okay, Brandon, you're masculine. You'll know. It almost feels like the masculine energy is going through like some sort of like electric shock therapy and going, okay, I think I know what I want now. I think I know where I want to go. I think I know what it is that I want to know the next step. Like, this is what it's feeling to me. Is this kind of accurate to some degree? Because this is what I'm getting with a lot of this masculine energy that's coming through. And Lala, I feel like you're going to be hearing something. I don't know if it's going to be this month. I am hearing this could be occurring in the first week or so of January. It may not be this month. It may, but I'm getting more, like, I feel like there's a turnover. It's like I'm literally feeling like a turnover, and it feels like a turnover into the next year is where things start moving forward.
You're absolutely right, Kathy.
Yeah,
you're absolutely right. Because when I'm connected, I feel this distance between the two of them. I feel like he's doing it. It's like he's purposely holding back some sense of harmony or balance or something. And that they're showing me that energy for December. And then January is when they show me all this movement happening. They show me the emotions are opening up with him. They show me that there's probably a social engagement or interaction the two of them have. So I think you're absolutely right that it's going to be January or the beginning of the year.
So
next year.
What was I like this energy that I'm picking up from masculines? Are you feeling this? Is this something that you want to talk? Like,
I don't know how to quantify that because I've never been masculine,
I suppose,
fully,
right?
or feminine fully. I've always had a balance and blend of both myself. You know, I have seen a lot of masculine people. It's like whatever energy is there, it's being amplified. So whatever is currently contained within that sphere is being amplified. But I don't feel that it's just limited to masculine. But what I do feel and what I can get behind is that it seems like the ego masculine energy, that's kind of being put on a pedestal right now. It's like a spotlight is shining down on this. And I feel that this is a thing happening with humanity, is that we're seeing if we're putting the spotlight on it to see if it's broken. And, you know, people are kind of coming all over the place with their own crazy energies being, I don't know, high lit right now. But I don't know if it's particularly masculine. It just feels like a very masculine time with the ego specifically. I feel like there is an eradication of ego that's kind of happening. So
it does. It's like old stuff is coming up. It feels like a lot of releasing. I feel like a lot of old memories maybe even coming through, or you know, it's almost like they're. And, you know, when we talk about masculine, it doesn't need to be male, right? Like we're saying, we all have that balance between that masculine and feminine energy. And it might be that it might be creating more of a balance by releasing through that masculine, you know, old memories of maybe whatever it is. Like it might even just be the masculine side of people at this point that's coming through. Of some sense of releasing.
I think so.
Yeah.
Honestly. It's just the thing that needs to be healed right now. It's the ego. It's the Mars-like energy. That's the stuff that needs to be healed. Our own self agendas, forcing their way to come in.
Yeah.
That's what needs to be healed and focused right now. We need to be more focused on the collective, and how we're all
exactly
linked and connected together more than just self-interest.
Denise was just asking about my hand. Yeah, I still got little baby band-aids on it right now, just because I like the butterfly band-aids are off, now, and it's, it's pretty much starting to heal. But then I decided I was going to slice my thumb open, last night. So apparently I'm just into scarring or something. I don't know.
Oh, she's kinky, huh?
Right? Like, you gotta find your thing somewhere, I guess. Apparently mine's knives. I don't know. Yeah.
Occam's razor.
Right? Yeah. It's like, oh my God, it's just one thing after the next. The week before, it wasn't the week before that. It was like about a month ago, and it's still healing. Is I decided I was gonna slam my foot against something, a nail that was, when I was renovating, and that was a bleeding mess. And I'm just like, once I get my house renovated, I'm just putting down the hammer for like a freaking year and just going, okay, I'm done. Like, enough is enough. Yeah. Denise says she's the same way. Honestly, I'm like a walking freaking klutz. It's surprising that I don't have like half my head like indented or something like that. I swear to God. But you get used to it.
I attribute that to all the Piscean energy you have in your chart.
Right? I think so.
With Pisces that it's like they're floating. I always imagine this. There's a few of them that I feel like their spirit is literally floating inside of their body, and they can't like control their body. It's more like a little jellyfish. It has that same vibe.
It's so true. It's so true, right? And and it's funny because like when I cut my thumb last night, my son was like, "Oh, that's just a life in the day." day in the life is what he said. He's kind of like, "Do you need stitches?" I don't know. I think I'm okay. He's like, should I put my shoes on? like this, like as if this is some sort of freaking routine, right? And he's just like, okay, well, you just let me know if we're heading to the Medi Center or not. Okay. Like,
you should teach him how to do stitches.
Right? Stitches, or use crazy glue or something. I don't know what it's a constant, but you get so used to it that you're not, at least you're kind of just past that point of, you just don't make a big deal out of it anymore. It's like, oh yeah, there's more blood. Oh yeah, there's blood there. There's blood there. Okay, we just get used to the blood. Let's just, let's just move on.
So wait, Lala is confused here. What reference were you making to her question about energy? So we're talking about things starting up in January, giving it time, or not time, but waiting till next month. That's where the opening was really going to happen. Oh, you were talking about the masculine energy,
right?
And the things being cleansed and purged. Now.
And I do. I feel like things are just like with the masculine itself. They're just going through. And again, it doesn't need to be, whether they're male. It's like the masculine side of energy just feels like it's really being purged, and like old memories or old thoughts or old feelings are just kind of coming up in order for them to gain a balance of them, in order to, maybe even balance out that masculine and feminine, sides between people. I just feel like at this point, just sort of let it be. I feel like you're going to hear something from him, but it won't be. And I kept hearing the turnover into January is what I kept hearing. Like, I want to say like the first week in January.
Exactly what I feel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He'll be in a much better place. He'll be clear. He's not really holding himself back. I'm telling you, I think this astrological alignment is going to ignite a lot of people. It's going to set some important precedents and the next beat for like the next probably 10 years or so. So
and I think
it's going to be important.
I feel like too, is people are going to be losing a lot of karmic situations, because now's not the time to be, it almost feels like this purging is coming through in order for people to grab a hold of or how do I say it? It's like this purging is coming through because we don't need all this karmic shit in our lives anymore. Okay, now's the time to be real. Be with your real partner. Be with your real person. If you want to play around, it's basically not going to bring in that energy into next year. Like, this is not the energy that you need. If you're a player, you know what? There may be that karmic situation that is going to cut that out, that tower energy that is going to bring about some sort of revelation where you go, okay, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing anymore. Or if you're, maybe with a karmic partner that you're not supposed to be with, there's going to be that break. There's going to be that energy that's moving people to where that it's almost like the masculine and feminine. Even though we have masculine and feminine within ourselves, and it doesn't matter what the gender is, a feminine can be more masculine, a masculine can be more feminine, but it just feels like all of this balance is coming through for a reason of some sort. That's what I keep getting.
We obviously need balance.
Yeah.
It's something we have already talked about. That balance is essential. And guess what? It happens on a global scale too.
Exactly.
So,
yes.
All right. Beauty 2020 is up next.
Okay.
Beauty 2020, make sure you're here in the chat. Give us a nice little hello. I think I saw you earlier.
Can I just I have to really go to the bathroom.
Sure.
I'm just going to announce this on YouTube. Can you guys give me like 2 minutes, just 2 minutes, and maybe Brandon can talk about something, but.
Just let me go off the rails. I'll talk about anything.
Just give me like 2 minutes. Literally, I'll be right back.
Okay, so let me refresh everybody here. First, we're doing all the first-time viewers here. We're about to end our first-time viewers with Shanu. So Beauty 2020, Love Any Green, and Shanu, you guys are the end of our first-time viewer list. So then we're going to open it up to our regulars. I think we might have to limit how many of our regulars we can do for a reading. So let's see, I think we've got a lot, but we want to be able to have time to do our drawing. So if you have not, let me see, she didn't leave it in the camera frame, but we do have that Organite crystal that she's going to give away. If you are not entered, you can still enter to win it. It's beautiful. It's got this very golden, earthy Egyptian vibe almost to it. And so you can win that here. I have a bunch of entries already for people that have submitted, but you still have time to submit. So all you have to do is be a subscriber to this channel. Make sure that you share the link and then take a screenshot of that and submit it to Kathy. Send it to her on Facebook or Instagram. That'll be Oracle Intuitions 1111 that you could submit. And then that will be your entry. You can enter multiple times, so you can share multiple times and enter, and that will give you another chance to be able to win. So make sure you do that and submit it, and then we'll be doing it at the end of the show. You do have to listen live, so make sure that you are here live to be able to win. So hang on to that, and you'll be good to go. Your light just turned off, Kathy.
What light?
The light, your salt lamp behind you.
Oh, did it? Oh, I probably unplugged it by doing something silly. Hang on a second. I
was making sure your power didn't go out.
No, thank God.
Do y'all have that much snow up there yet?
Here? Yes.
Oh.
Well, it's not too bad today. Oh, actually, it did go. There we go. Okay. It's not too bad right now, but it's actually supposed to be nice this next few weeks, thank God. But yeah, it's winter. It's winter. Start the car before you get into it time. Gotta love it.
Jenna said something in the chat here. I learned in history once that they didn't have toothpaste and toothbrushes, and George Washington had wooden teeth instead. Actually, what I learned was that George Washington actually ripped the teeth out of his slaves and used his slaves' teeth as his own.
Ew.
Isn't that awful?
Ew.
Yeah.
Denise, you can have all the snow. I will just do an exchange with you. You can come here. I'll go to California because that's like my dream home right there. And we'll just switch. We'll just switch. I love California. Love it. Love it. Love it. So you can have Edmonton and all its wonders.
Yeah, I'm good without the snow.
Right.
Great down here in Texas. I see greenery. It is. Oof.
Yeah.
Can't do any more snow. All right, let's move along this list because we've got quite a few people who are waiting, and I know people who want to win the giveaway.
Sure.
So let's go to Beauty 2020. Beauty 2020 would like to know, what does my Capricorn ex want with me?
Capricorn X. So there's been some sort of contact, I guess. Is that what I'm getting? Okay. Beauty 2020, take it easy with this person, because the first thing that came up was sex. But I don't feel that that's the only thing. But I feel that if you were to be intimate with this person at this time, that's where it could end. I feel like there is an opportunity with this person for it to go forward, but it is going to be a slow energy. I actually keep seeing that Knight of Pentacles energy. It feels as though they want to build up a relationship. They want to move forward in some way. But at the same time, it needs to be very stable energy. It needs to be grounded energy. You have to take your time with it. I would not give in if they are messaging or trying to, put together some sort of physical intimacy at this moment. I wouldn't engage in that at this time. And that's even over, online engaging or anything like that. Not in a sexual manner. Okay. If you want this relationship to move forward, that's what I keep getting. Okay. Just, you have to make it a stable relationship, or you have to give them the opportunity to make it a stable relationship, which I do feel could happen with them. But just take it slow, take it steady. And it's good that you're saying you don't plan on it. That's good, because I feel like they do want, he tried yesterday. I walked off. Good for you. I wish what we need is an audience. Yeah, we need to clap, because honestly, that's exactly the energy that was coming in. He's going to come back. He's going to come back. He's going to, engage in some other way, but you have to make it stable. You have to make it stable, because that was the first thing I got. He wants sex. He basically wants a satisfaction where he doesn't have to put a lot of energy into it on an emotional level at this moment. But I do feel that need or that want is there, that he does want to create a stability, but just not right now. Okay. So you have to allow that to come through. That's what I keep getting. I hope that's helped. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm being shown that it's going to be an energy drain. So I feel like that is perfect advice here.
Yeah. 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 It sounds
You're
so
smart,
much
Beauty
like
2020 though. You know what's going on.
Yeah.
You're with it. You see what's happening. I think you just needed some confirmation here.
Hey, JJ. It hasn't snowed where I am yet. I wish. Oh, I wish.
All right. Lovely Green is next.
Okay.
Lovely Green, make sure you're up in the chat. And then we've got Shanu. Make sure that you are here as well. So Lovely Green, let me just see if they confirm in the chat here. Give us a moment, and then we'll, Kathy, when we open up readings for our regulars, do you want to just do a few, since we are running out of time here? Or do you want to try to get to everybody?
Well, we'll get as many as we can in for sure. We'll just sort of maybe not as going as long or as in depth, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
All right. So Lovely Green would like to know, who's coming towards me in love?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So one of the things that I don't really like to do is give forecasts as far as like who's coming forward, okay? Because I do feel that it does cut off a lot of energy. What's that?
As well. They did put it to what's coming towards me in love.
What's coming towards me in love. Okay. Yeah. All right. So the first energy that I feel coming through. I feel like right now, there's a lot of a learning process that's going on with you. I almost feel like this is a process of you figuring out exactly what it is that you want, or letting go of a lot of things. It almost feels like you're putting together your own package. I guess that's the best way to say it. You know, like of all the things that it is that you're desiring, that you're wanting. It's like maybe, you know, maybe it's not every day a specific person. Okay, how does R feel about me currently? Can I have R's birth date, please, of some way? Capricorn. Okay. Capricorn. $12.22, $12.27. Okay. I'm gonna stay with what I felt. I feel like right now you're trying to put together something within yourself. It's almost like of what it is that you want. You might not be in that energy at this current moment, but I feel like you need to get into that energy. If you're not already into it, it's like you really need to put into a box, or into an idea of what it is that you want, what qualities you're truly looking for. I feel almost like this person has most of them, but some of the qualities are missing a bit, or there's not that, I want to say the word settled. It almost feels like there's a settling within this energy towards him in some manner. Like you might be settling for this energy, and it's not quite, your emotions might be there, his emotions might be there, but it's not quite coming together yet. I feel like you need to kind of sit down and really figure out what it is that you truly want, you know, long term, not only within yourself, but, you know, maybe perhaps with this person. I don't mean talking to them about it, but like figuring out emotionally what it is that you want with them. I'm also hearing the word April. So what I keep getting, and it could very well be him, I feel like a change coming through around April for the two of you. Again, it might be him, it may be perhaps somebody else, but I feel like you need to get into the energy of figuring out what it is that you are truly wanting, what you're truly looking for, what you're wanting and desiring within a person. Okay, first. And that just feels like so much more important at this point. He may meet those standards, he may meet those specifications, but I feel that there is a lacking at this moment. And what I do get is that April, there's going to be a change within the energy, and I feel like a stronger energy coming towards you in the sense of a masculine energy of some sort. And what I'm getting here is that this could be just a matter of time between him and you. So I hope that that helps. But I feel like right now, just kind of get into yourself, get into what it is that you're wanting. I keep hearing, don't settle, don't settle, don't settle, don't settle. Do you get that too? It's like, It's like you're settling and it's not quite what you want. Like it's not, there's something that there's something missing. There's a piece missing from this. And I just keep hearing, don't settle. So yeah.
I think you're totally spot on. I just want to echo what I'm hearing, because I'm hearing very similarly. But for me, I just feel like I want to say it very blunt to levity. You're repeating patterns from the past. And Spirit shows me that you're about to go through a very big and important rebirth in yourself. I feel like it's going to happen near like March-ish time frame.
Yeah.
It's like right around then, because then all of a sudden Spirit shows me that you enter into this relationship that has emotional compatibility, stability, and structure, even fantasy and daydream. It's like all of these things wrapped into one. But it happens after your quote unquote rebirth. You're going to go through a very important transformation in the next few months. Yeah. And I honestly, Levity, I would forget about this past stuff. In my personal opinion, based on what I feel, it just feels like it'll keep you stuck in a pattern. So hopefully they can go through, if you still want to have a relationship with that person, hopefully they go through their own rebirth as well, because it's very much needed. But please don't feel worried if you go through your rebirth and you don't feel that connection with them anymore, because you are going to be in a like I mentioned, that emotionally stable and compatible relationship.
And I kept hearing April, so that kind of coincides with what I'm getting, with what you're getting to, because it was almost like it was like this April that kept coming through, and it just feels like there's something so strong, and it's hard to explain. For me, I'm getting like a single energy currently, and then in April it comes through as this bond. It's not a single energy anymore. It's like a coupled energy. I don't know how else to explain it, but that's exactly what's coming through. Okay. Yeah,
I think honestly, look forward to that transformation, Levity. That's going to be a huge, beautiful moment for you, and you'll finally be aligning with someone who it just feels right, instead of trying to make something work with someone that you feel a connection.
Yeah.
That's super important. All right, Shanu is up next.
You're so welcome, Levity, too. Yeah, you're so welcome.
We'll open up the readings here. If you do want to enter into the giveaway, you still have time to do so.
Let's cut out in like 5 minutes. Yeah, for the giveaway, and then that way at least everybody that's submitted has submitted. And what do you think?
Yeah, let's do it at the end of the new viewer list, and then we can do our regulars.
Okay.
And then we'll do the giveaway, so I can finish writing everything on the list and take them out. Okay. So Shanu would like to know, I'm feeling really angry these days. I'm not like this. I don't even feel like talking to anybody. Please guide.
Okay. So, all right. So, these are just mini readings. So I'm gonna give you as much as I can possibly give you at this point. I do feel there's a lot of okay. I'm getting like the death card from the tarot, which is about transformation and change. Okay. What I'm getting here is old energy that is needing to be transformed, transmuted, released. I almost feel like there's a ancestral or generational. This could even have to do with your immediate family of some sort. It feels like things are coming through that you need to let go of, release. And I feel like this alone time, this is like the hangman's energy, where you go into yourself, you're doing your own contemplation. A spirit is actually saying to me, you don't need to be talking to anybody if you don't feel like it. That's exactly what I'm hearing in my head. Don't push yourself to that place where you feel like you have to be sociable. You have to do this. You have to do that. I mean, of course, we have to be, I suppose if people are living in our house, we can't walk around completely ignoring them, but it doesn't mean that you have to engage in the extent that is going to be draining for you in some manner. I feel like the reason that you're going through this is there's a lot of releasing. And again, it's like transmutation, transformation of old energy going into, I keep hearing 3 months. So I don't know if you've already been in this for a while, or this is that 3-month mark, or you're about to go through a 3-month transformation of some sort. But what I keep hearing is at the end of this, and it almost feels like you're resisting. You're resisting this change, this transformation. It's like you're pushing back on it in some way. And what I keep getting is you need to let it go. You need to follow it. If you're feeling angry, ask spirit, why am I feeling this discourse? Why am I feeling what it is that I'm feeling? Allow the images to come up, allow the emotions to come up. Now, I always feel like I have to explain. It doesn't mean, that to take it out on people. It doesn't mean to, release it in a way that is going to be violent or physical towards somebody. And that's just, the whole, I have to say it, otherwise, somebody will get into trouble type of thing. But allow it to come up within you. If this is a matter of just having to go for a walk, if you need to, beat up on a pillow, or if you need to just release it in some way, I feel like 3 more months I need to heal. Yeah, I feel like through this process, you're going to really allow a lot of things to escape. And again, I keep feeling that transformation, that transition, transmutation. You're going to come out of this so freaking amazing. Like you're going to look back at 6 months and you're going to go, who the hell was that? Who was that person? Because I don't recognize that person. All of this stuff that I've released, I've escaped, I've moved forward, I've let go. That is almost not even me anymore. I am this beautiful, radiant human being that is glowing. That's what I keep seeing within you. And that's what I keep getting shown by spirit. So it feels like instead of resisting, instead of pushing it down, instead of, keeping it at a place where it's not allowed to in some way reveal itself, allow it to be revealed. And again, find a healthy way to, if it's anger, find a healthy way to release that anger. Like I said, beat on a pillow, go for a walk, find an empty field and scream. Do what feels good for you. Or if you're near a beach, go to a beach, scream, do something that's healthy for you. Release it, allow. And I do feel like just asking spirit, why am I feeling this? What does this have to do with? You will see the images. You will be shown this. So I hope that helps, because the end result of all of this is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It's radiant. It's glowing. Oh my gosh, you're going to make me cry. I'm going to I always cry on my live shows. Why do I do that? Oh my God. But the energy that I get from you is like this beautiful sun that's coming through. Okay. So, okay. I shall not cry. But this is so truly, absolutely needed for you. It's going to be amazing at the end of it. Okay. So I hope that helps. All right. And I'm going to keep my tears in my head.
That's so spot on, Kathy. That's exactly all I was picking up too.
Yeah.
All of that, just more eloquently put.
Yeah. It's awakening energy, Shenu. That's exactly what it is. And okay, I can see my big glossy eyes there. So, but yeah, at the end, it's going to be radiant. It's just, this is so needed for you. So
yeah, it's like you're putting in new roots, right? It's like you're rerouting or something. It's like, it's like you're getting new definitions, and then what grows is now in support of all of this cleansed and cleared and understood energy.
That's exactly it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's just let it transform. Let it transmute the way it's going to transmute. Okay. I know. I'm sorry. I know. I'm trying not to cry. It was just literally I see the end result and you're like, it's so overwhelming, right?
It's hard for us sometimes.
Yeah, because you just get so caught in the energy of everything.
We feel it all in one moment. A series of things that happen, over months. We feel it at one time, and it's hard sometimes not to get emotional. It is,
because you just get so when you see that glow, when you see that radiation, when you see that beauty that's coming through, you're just like, oh, it's like, it's like the transformation of somebody's entire spirit. right? And it's just amazing. It's like the rebirth of a soul.
Oh, I love it.
All right.
All right. So the giveaway is now closed. Do we have any other names to update?
No, I sent all of them to you at this time.
All right. So
Yes.
I'm going to put all of these on a list, and I'm going to pick out of a hat at random whoever is going to be the winner. So while I do this, we're going to open up the reading list for our regulars here. So
Awesome.
regulars, everyone else, reading list is now open. Please submit your questions.
Yay. I honestly
Here
love
they
doing these
come.
live shows. I really do. They're just so I don't know.
All right, so we will take your questions and you will be put in order as we've received the questions. So for those of you that are still left, let's see, should we end everything at the top of the hour?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Yeah.
And then we can do the giveaway at the top of the hour?
Yeah, so we'll do it at 4. So just
Okay.
we'll get in what we can between
well, wherever
now and
anybody is,
yeah.
It'll be 5 for me, but so we'll do it at the top of the hour. We'll do the giveaway. So if you were listening in and waiting, we'll do that at the top of the hour here.
Okay.
All right, let me 1, 2, 3. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got 7.
We can do it.
There might be more submitted, so you just tell me when we should do the cutoff.
Well, there might be more submitted. What do you? Oh no, we'll just stop it at now because I don't think we'll be able to get more in than that at this point.
Okay.
Yeah. Or
So
Cathryn. We'll stop at Cathryn. Okay.
Okay. All right, and if we have time at the top of the hour, we can probably take a few more, but we'll just get through what we can get through here.
I do see Jenna's.
Okay, so go ahead and do Jenna's here first.
So you're asking about an energy update. Okay, it's interesting because this energy update is absolutely needed. You need to okay. Jenna, don't worry about the fact that he didn't say happy Thanksgiving. I do feel there is a change coming. There is going to be a movement forward. Right now, there is really interesting. I'm being shown the Hermit. I felt like I needed to pull cards for you for some reason, and the cards that came out were exactly what I was feeling. So this Hermit moment is coming through. He is in a place where look at this, the Temperance card. This is about patience. This is about divine timing. This is about, some people look at the Temperance card as like that twin flame soulmate relationship because there's that balance, the masculine, the feminine. Again, it seems to be the theme of the day. But he really is in this place where a lot of this Temperance energy is coming forward. Here's the interesting thing. We're also getting that Knight of Pentacles. So what I'm getting from that is not only is the Knight of Pentacles about patience and, again, divine timing, but taking each step in some way sure and steady. Okay, it's not a haphazard energy. So what I'm getting here is when he does contact, when he does message, he's going to be in a more stable place. He's going to be able to bring to you what it is that you're desiring out of this relationship, rather than it being a haphazard energy of just impatience or something that is not going to be stable. I'm still hearing, I feel like don't contact him anymore. Like just let him be for right now. I still feel this coming through. I still feel like this is going to be this month at some point in time. Just let him do his thing within that Hermit energy is what I'm getting. Because there's a lot of change. There's a lot of growth that's going on for him. There's a lot of balancing out that energy and more stability that's coming through. Okay. So I hope that helps.
Jenna says, everyone says that, and I trust in it.
Yeah, have the trust in it, okay? Because you know what? If it's not just me, well, of course, I trust myself, right, when I give a reading. But, you know, if you're hearing this on a regular basis, this is the energy that's really being presented at this time. But you have to have that faith. You have to have that trust that this is all coming together. So just take that step back and go into, you know, whatever energy it is that's going to be beneficial for you at this time. And they're very, it's a very positive energy, but you want them to be solid, right? You don't want this guy that's going to be like, hey, how's it going? And then disappears for another 2 weeks, right? You want a stable energy. You want something that is going to be solid. You want something that is going to be, you know, firm and bring that stability for the future. So allow that energy to come through at this moment. Okay. I hope that's helped.
All right.
All right.
Next is going to be Kay.
Hey, Jay.
Kay would like to know.
Kay. Okay.
Kay, yes, not JK. JJ is on the list, but Kay is up next. Kay would like to know, what will life be like for me once I open up my mediumship and clairvoyance abilities? I was told I'll be opening up this coming April.
Okay, say that one more, just the beginning of it.
What will life be like me? What will life be like for me once I open up my mediumship and clairvoyant abilities?
Okay, the first thing I'm really hearing is not to push it. You are going to be opening up. But here's the thing, and I feel like this is going to be so important for you as you're opening up. You know what? We want, okay. What a lot of people don't realize is that we can ask our guides for help throughout this process, but help in the way that we're not being bombarded by all, like when we want to open up to our abilities, our guides get really excited. They're like little children and they're like, yes, okay, here we go. We're going to get, you know, and then they can shove everything freaking at us at one time. And we're in this place of going, wait a minute. Okay. You know, and it can scare some people and it can actually, you know, make us revert back into ourselves a little bit. What we have to recognize is the fact that, you know, it's like learning. You're not going to start at kindergarten and go to university. Okay. And there are all of these 8 stages that we need to go through. And it's like Brandon and I were talking about at the beginning of the show, where this isn't all of a sudden. You don't need that all of a sudden. This is a learning process. And the reason that it's a learning process is simply because of the fact that it needs to be a learning process. Otherwise, we're not fully receiving all of the lessons. So I feel like, what will life be like? I feel like you're going to be, the thing that I really feel changing about you is just walking forward with eyes more open, with your intuition more open, allowing yourself to really start seeing. And I feel a lot, the word belief coming through, like there's a lack of belief in something or some, I don't know if this is a spiritual realm or whatever it is, but I feel like there's a lot more. It's like where you're going to be sitting there going, oh my God, did that just happen? Like it, you know, it's like this realization that things are truly, there's that element on the other side. Okay. There's that element on, you know, through all of this, like you're just going to be advancing, but take it slow. Okay. Is what I get. I feel like a lot of things are going to come through for you, but there's no need to rush is what I keep getting, is what I keep picking up. Yeah. And ask your guides for what it is that you need specifically. If something's becoming overwhelming, I'll tell you, when I first started doing paranormal work, I was actually seeing spirits with my eyes. Okay. And I'm going to tell you, I didn't like that, because there was a lot of times I almost got into car accidents thinking that somebody was crossing the street, and my kids were like, what the hell are you doing? Because I'm slamming on the brakes. And they're like, I'm like, there's a person there. And they're like, no, there's not. And you're like, oh, I'm nuts. Okay. I got to stop this shit. Right. But then I realized I could talk to my guides and say, okay, look at, I love to see people that have passed over, but I need to see them in my head, not with my eyes. And I can be just as accurate in my head, and I don't need to see things with my eyes. Okay. So I know it's there, but I don't need to exhibit. I don't need to open my eyes up in the middle of the night and see some creature standing over me, you know, or anything like that. Like, nobody needs that crap. And I mean, for at least me personally. And so what we have to do is when we ask our guides for that help, what will, you know, be specific. And that's what I feel is needed to come through at this time. Okay. So I hope that's helped.
Good advice. I think she'll be getting quite interesting stream of information. I think it'll be very strong.
Yeah, and Kay, yeah, I do feel that you could be seeing them if that's what you want to do. But I mean, again, you know, it's going to be within, you know, it's all in your hands, really. It truly is. A lot of people, they seem to think, oh, it's left up to this. But if you have the ability, if you used to see them as a child, that ability is still there. Allow yourself to just open up to it. That's all. Ask your guides to start bringing them through. Okay. Or to help you open up that third eye chakra in order for you to start seeing them on a, you know, a clear basis. If that's what you need. Or if that's what you want. Okay. I hope that's helped.
All right. Thank you, Kay. We're going to go on to Denise's next.
Okay. What would Miss Denise like to know?
Denise is asking, what are Kevin's feelings and actions towards me?
I'm taking it for the future, or feelings right now, but the actions. Okay, I'm literally seeing, here I am. Okay. I'm literally seeing a phone in my hand. That's what I keep seeing in his hand. I feel like there is going to be some sort of contact, some sort of connection. I almost don't feel like this is going to be a social media thing. I mean, this could be through text. It could be, literally picking up the phone, is what I'm getting. I don't know if you've already received that phone call or if it's coming through, whatever it is, but I feel like this is coming through fairly soon. Feelings.
Mm-hmm. There's something new opening up.
Yeah, there's
definitely something new opening
right?
up. I don't know. Was Kevin totally blocked off of emotions before? Because I keep feeling there's some kind of emotional opening that, like, the bond finally gets the emotion, if that makes sense. Like, it definitely feels like a new opening.
Yeah, it almost feels like all of a sudden he woke up one day and started really thinking about you. Like literally, that's, you know, it's not that you haven't been on his mind, but it was almost like, oh, I got to do something. I got to move forward. I've got to open up this energy. It just, like you said, it's brand new, and it just feels like there's a moving forward. Don't do anything. He shut me out and everything. You know, let it go for right now, because he's the one that's getting this renewed energy. Don't do anything. Don't reach out to him. Don't like anything on his social media junk. Don't do anything, because he's already there. He's already thinking of you. I want to say this is going to be really soon. Now, remember, of course, you know, as you know, Denise, because you are very spiritual yourself, you understand the fact that, you know, timing, you know, is hard. But at the same time, I literally feel like I'm surprised that he hasn't contacted you, is what I'm hearing. So just let it be for right now. And that could be the intuitive excitement. Yeah, it just feels like something new is happening. It's like I literally can see him freaking picking up his phone and be like this. So I don't know exactly what that is, but it's new It's exciting. It's moving forward. I feel his energy has changed in some manner towards all of this connection between the two of you. It's like he just literally woke up and went, "Oh, I know what I want. I'm going to go get it now." I have a deeper appreciation for this relationship is what I keep feeling. Yeah.
Yep. I totally agree. I think if things were to communicate right now, I just keep being shown it's all going to be clouded. It's going to lead to some argument and a lot more distance between the two of you. So yeah, I think that's solid advice.
Yeah. Just don't do anything, do nothing is the best thing at this point. And, and you'll see that energy change, and you'll probably feel that energy change more than anything. Yeah, right, he has put his mind into it. Yeah. So. Okay.
Nice. I like it. I like the vibe, actually. It feels like she's got all the power right now.
She does. She does have all the power. And he does too. And that's the thing. He's coming into his own power to some degree as well, right? And that's the beauty of it. It's not, it's like there's a different confidence within there, a different assurance where it's like he knows what he wants and he's going to go for it now, or whatever it is. Like there's a change between the energies. Yeah.
Did somebody else submit an entry to you before we closed everything off? Because I thought I saw somebody say I submitted.
That was the one that I had sent to you. Oh, here, hang on a second. Luxury Estate World.
That's the last one. I think I saw maybe Kay in the chat said they submitted, or.
Oh, that's the one I sent to you. Yeah, I sent you that one. It was. Okay. Hang on a second. Sorry, guys.
If you all submitted for the giveaway, which we'll be doing in a few minutes, make sure that you sent Kathy that screenshot.
Yeah, they're all in there.
Okay, perfect. Okay. All right, I'll do an updated list at the end here to make sure we've got everybody. So next is going to be JJ.
Okay, hi JJ.
JJ has said, I have taken your guys' advice and I feel I've progressed in letting go more of my connection with G and focusing on me. I'm wondering what the current updates are since the last time.
Brandon, can you read that again? Sorry.
I've taken your guys' advice and I feel I've progressed in letting go more of my connection with G and focusing on me. I'm wondering what the current updates are since last time.
Okay. Jay, is this the Capricorn? Is he a Capricorn? I keep feeling a Capricorn energy. I don't know if that is him.
Said no, Aries.
Aries.
Headstrong. That must be that energy you're feeling.
Okay. Could be Capricorn season too, because I keep feeling January again. Keep what I'm hearing from Spirit is keep you're almost there, is what I keep hearing. You're almost there within your energy field of moving this through. I don't know. I'm not, maybe that makes sense to you. That's what I'm hearing from Spirit. You've got a little bit more. You got a little bit more to release, a little bit more strength that you need to come into in some manner. It's coming. I keep hearing the first 2 weeks in January. I'm literally seeing like January 12th or something along that line. Like, I just feel like there's an energy that's coming through within that. Maybe that's where I kept feeling that Capricorn. It's a Capricorn season. I feel like things are happening, but you've got a little bit more to release is what I keep getting off of his side. It's interesting. I almost feel like there's this energy that is coming through where he keeps peeking around the corner, watching, waiting. It's like it's like almost waiting for an invitation, but that doesn't mean to contact him. Don't send an invitation. It just means like energetically he's waiting for an invitation of some sort, or he's watching to see where you are, if you're ready to accept him in some manner. This is a tough one. It's not tough because I'm feeling the energy behind it. I feel like I said, the first couple of weeks in January, but I feel like, and I almost feel like with you, Jay, is that there's something that you need to still, there's a little bit more work on that. And I'm thinking of deleting him as my social media. No, don't delete. Maybe that's where I'm getting that peaking, because it feels like that's important. You don't need to delete him. You know what? Here's the thing. When we start deleting people, what we're actually doing is we're trying to cut off that energy from ourselves, right? But here's the thing, what is it going to do? It's not really going to do anything except maybe make us feel temporarily better. But then chances are we're going to be like, trying to find out information in some other way. I'm just feeling like don't delete him, because I keep seeing a peeking coming through. This could be him watching us or watching you, okay, is what I'm getting. Like he could be, that's where it really starts moving forward. But I do feel like a communication maybe coming through in about the middle of January. It just feels like there's a little bit of strength that you need left. Here's the interesting energy too. If you're feeling like you need to delete him, you're still not quite in the energy of where you need to be in order to accept him. Okay. Because when you're in that strength, you don't give a shit if he's watching you or not. Let him watch. Right? Let him watch, let him do what he needs to do. You're not putting any focus on it. You're just doing you. So there's no need to delete. And I feel like that could have something to do with it. So just stay within your energy right now. Just stay within your energy, do what it is that you need to do. And I feel like removing his energy, like just take a step back from his energy and allow yourself to get into that strength of your own energy at this point. And you'll see things starting to change, because I really feel that things are going to happen after the new year. Okay. It may come before the new year. All right. But that has to do with our own energy and what we're putting out there. But I feel like there's a little bit more strength that needs to happen. Okay. So we should move on. I hope that makes sense. I hope that you understood that.
Yeah, I agree. I feel the same vibes. It's like they're on two different movies, two different books, and we're waiting for those books to cross over. And I think that's what's being waiting for right now. So I think your advice fits perfectly well with what I'm picking up as well.
Right.
All right. So we've got LD up next.
Okay.
LD, are you here? Then Noelle, then Shafi, Cathryn, and Dazzled.
Okay.
All right, and if we have time, we have Ashna in the chat. I told Ashna if we do have time at the end, we'll be able to fit them in, but let's stick with our list right now.
Yeah.
And then we'll do our giveaway, and we'll see if we have time. So LD is up next. Let's see. LD, are you here, my dear? LD. Let me look in the chat participants here. I do not currently see LD in the chat participants, but that doesn't mean they're not here. So if you are here, LD, we'll go to you next, but there we are. Okay. LD's here. LD would like to know, hi, Kathy and Brandon, it's Lori. Will Todd and I be spending time together soon?
Yeah, you're going to be spending part of Christmas together. I'm not going to say Christmas Day. I'm not even going to say like a couple of days. I don't know if it's going to be a couple of days before, a couple of days after. I feel like he is going to put some energy towards this holiday season. It might only be an hour. Okay. But it's going to be the energy that he can give at this time. That's what I keep getting. 2 hours, maybe. I feel like 2 days, either 2 days before Christmas, 2 days after Christmas, somewhere around there is what I keep getting. I do feel that he is going to attempt to make some sort of movement forward during the holiday season. He does not want to let you not have, he does not want to be without this energy of you throughout this holiday season, even if it's really short, or even if it's just as quick as he can, right? Like, you get that too? Like, it's like he needs and wants that. So that's what I get.
It's definitely going to be, I think, an intimate exchange.
Yes.
I think there will be some intimacy shared, whether it's physical, emotional, whatever it is. And again, however brief, there does feel to be this intimacy. And the one thing Spirit keeps showing me is that it keeps feeding the roots, if that makes sense, Lori. They keep showing me it's feeding the roots. So I imagine that this has got to be the roots being the basis or definition of the connection between the two of you. So it feels like a nice energy.
It does. It's a good energy. Yeah, you'll definitely. I feel like you're going to see.
I keep seeing laughing and talking, and I feel good conversation too. That feels really nice.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just so sweet. It gives me this beautiful little vision. It's almost like a Hallmark movie. Oh.
Right? I know. I want a Hallmark movie. I never get Hallmark. I just, I would love that. Like, honestly, I need a Hallmark movie or a Hallmark moment or some
moment. Yeah.
Something, right? It's like,
God, I think we all need one.
I don't even know what the hell that's like anymore. I have no idea. Like, to have that, I don't know. It's like that, what is it, 16 Candles, where you got the guys outside, like with the, the boom box or something like that. I just want a freaking Christmas card, for God's sakes, or something. Surprise. Yeah.
Well, now we're gonna get everybody in here to send you a Christmas card. You're gonna get overloaded.
Yeah, right. But you do.
We'll send you popcorn tins.
I'm so corny. I watch those Hallmark movies and I'm just like, oh, I want that. Oh, that would be so beautiful, and it's true, right? But you're like, okay. I woke up with my dog thrown up on my carpet this morning. Yay.
How intimate. How beautiful.
Like, no, I want the Hallmark. Okay. Anyway, let's move on.
All right. Let's move on to Noah B here.
Okay.
Noah B, if you're in the chat, let us know. Then we've got Shafi, Cathryn, and Dazzle. Make sure you all are here.
We just did LB. Right?
No, Noel B.
Oh, Noel. Okay. Sorry.
Yes.
There she is, Noel. Okay. Sorry, Noel.
All right. So, Noel B, I would love to know if my most recent ex will come back to me for a relationship.
Most recent ex. I need a name and a birth date, please, Noel, if you can. Okay.
Very welcome, Lori.
Yeah, you're very welcome, Lori. Okay, and also Noel, I need
Sama 612 Gemini.
I'm feeling something a little bit weird here. Is there I don't know if they're particularly involved in a relationship at this moment, but I feel like there's another energy around. This even could be a child of some sort. It feels like there is feels like there's a restriction within this energy in some way. What I keep getting is that it feels like
said it's backwards. December 6th.
Okay, that's okay.
Is Sama here, Sagittarius.
Yeah. Can you confirm that for me? Because I feel like there's some sort of restriction within this energy. It almost feels like, I don't know if this is a third party or if they're married or if there's a child maybe, but it almost feels like there's something that keeps this person from pursuing a complete relationship with you at this moment. It doesn't mean that that can't change, because the underlying energy that I'm getting from this person is that there is a deep affection. There is a deep, you know, type of energy. Yeah, he's got a lot going on with getting his sister. Okay. Yeah, because it just feels like there was a lot, like some sort of, like something was going on that, you know, it was keeping him from, you know, completely pursuing this at this time. I do feel, like I said, there's a lot of deep affection. There's a lot of deep energy towards you from him. I almost get that there's a constant, it's like I hear you in his head a lot. I hear you in his head. Like he thinks of you a lot. She has a kid and they need to make sure that her new husband will accept the kid too, or else he'll have to take care. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's so sad. Okay. Yeah, you know, here's the thing. There is a lot of caring. There is a lot of love. I do feel there is a possibility for this relationship. I feel like he may get overwhelmed with all of the stuff that is going on, and it could give him this sense of heroship in the way that he may go, oh, you'd be better off without me, or you'd be, you know, I'm going to bring too much to the relationship, which is complete crap as far as I'm concerned, because it's really up to us to make that determination if something is too much or too little for us, right? It's not up to somebody else. But at the same degree, I feel like he really wants to break. So there's a confliction at this moment. Okay. He wants to move forward, but there's that energy, like I said, of him kind of holding back a bit. I feel like he needs to figure this out first. Could you guys be in a relationship? Yes, but I'm not feeling it immediately. I do feel the possibility of going into about the middle of next year, once a lot of this energy really clears up. It may be beforehand. That's just the energy that I'm getting at this particular moment.
Yeah, I'm in agreement here. I definitely feel that sort of weird self-talk, that weird hot and cold vibe with them. And it's like, the one thing the spirit keeps showing me is like, it's like the ending is trying to be prevented. Like a book, a chapter is not being closed purposely, and it feels like, you know, things are being hung on to. But I feel like, you know, this is a very similar energy to something we were reading before. It feels like there needs to be this transformation, but with him,
yeah,
like he has to go through this like crisis or this transformation or something important, and spirit shows me that he's going to be defining extremely important morals and principles for himself. But it's like he hasn't done that yet, and so in order for the relationship to be had, he has to do that, and that's why the ending is being hung onto. Honestly, that chapter in that book has to close, so that way the new one can open up, but it's like he's the only one that has to do that.
Yeah, and it does. Yeah, don't reach out. Let him be. He's got to figure out this energy on his own. And yeah, I like I said, it feels like this hero worship or hero whatever. Like I said, it's almost like, oh, I'm going to be so chivalrous. I'm going to let you go because you're going to find somebody else. Like, what freaking crap, right? Like I hate it when you hear that shit. It's like, be a man and just say, look it. I don't want this.
Well, that's exactly it.
Right?
He's acting from the child.
Yeah, it's a very childish energy. And it's
not
like,
emotionally.
Yeah, it's like, grow up. Like, just speak your fucking mind. Excuse my language. But, you know, like it is. It's irritating as hell, because you're basically saying you're not mature enough to make your own decisions. So I'm just going to make your decision by backing off because you could find somebody better. Piss off. Like, honestly, you're not 2 years old, right? So at this point, don't reach out. Let him figure out what it is that he wants. I do feel there's a lot of thought, there's a lot of feeling, there's a lot of energy towards you. But he's got to figure out, like as Brandon said, the last chapter. He's
got to meet you. He's got to at least meet you halfway.
Yeah.
And he needs to figure that out on his own.
Yeah. For right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good. Good energy. But it's good to know, Noelle, I think that you're in the right energy. It's not dependent on you. It's dependent on him.
It is 100%. It's really into his energy right now.
All right. Thank you, Noelle. All right. So we will be doing the giveaway in just a moment. If y'all are listening, if you've submitted.
Oh, you're so welcome, Noelle. Yeah.
Should we do all the we've got Shafi, Cathryn, and Dazzled. Should we do them all first and then do the giveaway?
Yeah, let's do that real fast. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. So hang tight if you're listening for the giveaway. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people submitted for the giveaway here.
Yay.
So hopefully you are. Oh wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wait. Okay, no, I was right the first time.
Okay.
Okay, so
and then again, some of them may not be on, you know, the on the live too. So if they're, you know, but that's okay. That's okay.
All right, so Sappy J is up next.
Okay.
How are the next 3 months looking for me in regards to career, money, and love?
Okay, I'm hearing that December you need to take a break. Don't know why. Don't know what that has to do with. It feels like it's important. Like right now is not the time for you to be, it doesn't mean you can't work. You know what I mean? Of course, we're, you know, probably going to be working or whatever. But I feel like this is not the time to be exerting a lot of energy, because I feel like you need to reserve your energy coming in about January. I feel like there's going to be a busyness. There's going to be a change within the energy. I want to say the second, third week maybe of January. And again, it doesn't mean that you can't work or, don't pursue things that you like or anything like that. It's just really saying at this moment, it's like something is switching, something is coming through around January that is, I keep seeing you busy. It's like go, 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 go. And you need to reserve your energy for the next 3 months after that, is what I really keep getting. Is there's a change within the energy. There's a change. I don't know if you sell stuff. It feels like I don't know if you're a small business or if you're, what the heck is going on with you? But there's a busyness within your energy that is coming through very, very strongly. So I hope that makes sense. The good things. This is going to be busy and good in the positive way. Oh, you're a psychiatric. Oh, maybe that's why. Oh boy. Okay, maybe that's why you have to reserve your energy, honey. but I do feel like
look to March. That's going to be a good time. Look to March.
Yeah.
February and March are going to be perfect.
Yeah. I feel like right now, just kind of, do what you can do. Helping to start my own hoping to start your own business. Okay. Yeah. Maybe that's why I was feeling what I was feeling, because it feels like something is changing. Like there's that change that's coming through, as Brandon was saying, like February, March, I'm feeling like a change in about January, that things are going to start moving.
Oh my God, you're so spot on, Kathy. That's exactly what I saw. The change in January, the newness opening in February, and then solidity in March. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, it just feels so strong right now. It just feels like right now, reserve your energy. So again, it doesn't mean do not put work into stuff or do what you need to do, and however
honestly,
it is.
Just focus on cutting out anything that doesn't fit your goals. Cut
Yeah.
out the BS in December. Cut out anything that needs to go in December.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like you're really moving
forward. We're perfectly
forward.
aligned in that one.
Yeah. I love it.
Well, we have been actually really aligned today.
All day today, right?
That we're reading. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. It's that opening up. It's that opening up.
Yes. Thank you, Shafi. We need more people who do what you do. So paving the way, and maybe you'll be able to inspire a lot of other people too. I think you will.
Absolutely.
You have that. Ooh, I just had this vision of Shafi standing up. She's got this blazer on. She's standing behind a podium and she's speaking to people that she's like leading this kind of idea or this conference and inspiring other people. I just had this clear vision. I can even see the background. It's very open. There's glass. It's like this big, almost atrium kind of thing. It's huge. There's a screen behind her, like this giant harp-looking screen that has sponsors on it. I see the whole thing so clearly in my mind.
That's so beautiful.
I think she'll be able to get to that.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right, Cathryn. Cathryn is up next.
Okay.
Can you tell me about a positive thing that I brought with me from a past life?
Yes. There's two things that are actually coming through here. One is I am getting something to do. It's your patience. It's your kindness. There is a okay, Cathryn. This is what we're getting. I feel like, and you may want to confirm with that, in the chat, what I'm getting, there is a very much an elemental spirit energy, witch energy is what I want to say. Like you're in one with nature. I almost feel like herbs and I don't know, cleansing, some sort of like potions. I'm not exact. So I don't know if that's an energy that you're carrying through right now, but that's exactly what it feels like. There's a cleansing, healing energy, very much an elemental energy with you at this, that you've brought through. It almost feels like this is something, okay, so I'm being shown this, I have to put it into words. I'm being shown in the past, this was very much your thing. So you were like this elemental type of, again, I want to say witch, because that's the best way to really put it right now. Elemental alchemist. Okay. As you went through your past lives, I feel like this is carried out through almost all of your past lives. With that element, I almost feel like at some point you might have been a chemist, like in a past life. Like I want to say like in the early 1900s, maybe the late 1800s, you might have even had a chemist background because of the fact that that was needed to go forward. Like it feels as though there was always, each life was a learning. Each life was a new, hey, I learned how to do this. I know how to do this. I'm bringing this healing energy through. It very much feels like, again, that alchemist, the chemist, the elemental witch, the, potion maker. It's so strong throughout that. So I hope that makes sense. And I feel like you need to carry it through and continue this, this energy. Burn for me. Probably, I think that all of us to some degree have, I do feel that energy, but I'm going to tell you, Cathryn, what I'm getting here is I feel like that was only a small part of your background or a small part of your past. I'm getting older witch. Okay. We're not talking like Salem witch trials or any of that. You may have definitely popped in at that time period. But that was not your focus. That was not your main time in life. What I'm getting here is this is older witch, old, like, when witches weren't really considered bad, like, witches were the like healers of the,
yeah.
Right? Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, we got to remember the Salem witch trials and all that shit. That was like that was such a small part of freaking history. And everybody kind of tends to focus in on that. Like when you're, online or when you're talking to people, it's like, well, there was, yes, but the Salem witch trials and all of that were such a small element. So don't focus in on that because you're older than that. Their soul is older than that. Like witches have been around since the dawn of man. I mean, who created fire? you know, who, you know, man created fire. But I mean, people had to come up with all of this. What did they do with the fire? Like, you know, it goes so deep. And it, you know, back in the days, women were, you know, the matriarchs of a society. They were the healers. They were the creators of a society to some degree. When it came down to the Salem witch trials, you know, anybody who basically went boo was burned as a witch, right? If you used willow bark or aspirin, you would have been a witch. You know, if you know, wiped your butt the wrong way, you're a witch. If you did this, you're a witch. Like, everybody was a freaking witch back then, right? It was just an excuse to basically burn out literally any feminine energy that was strong. Really, that's really what it comes down to. So when I'm talking elemental, when I'm talking, you know, with that alchemy, we're talking old. Okay. Think back to the dawn of man. Think back, you know, to those time periods. Bring that through. Don't focus in on this little tiny piece of history, because that's going to make you regress, right? That little piece of history keeps us back. You know, keeps us back from moving forward, because we're scared to show our talents, or our wizardry, or our alchemy, or the magician side of us, because we always have that fear of, oh, well, you know, people were burned back then. People were held back by that back then. But, you know, really, it was just a bunch of cranky old freaking men that just, they couldn't get it up, and they got upset with women and they burned them. So let's just leave it at that. You know what I mean? Because that's really the bottom line of what it came down to.
Yeah. It's interesting you brought all that up, because the one energy I was feeling that was brought over was this extremely supportive voice for her community. Community seemed really important. Not necessarily everybody that was around town or wherever, but whomever she held as community. She was always this strong, solid voice.
Yes. Yes.
Also, I don't know why I'm being drawn to handwriting for some reason.
Okay.
I have no idea what that is or what it's about. Maybe she has a beautiful handwriting, or like a cursive or something. I don't know. I just keep seeing handwriting as well. Something about penning and writing a letter. I keep seeing that.
That's beautiful. But yeah, Cathryn, like, you're strong. You know, you've got all the elements in you. Exactly what Brandon just said. It just all of this just feels, you know, very, very strong. But don't focus in on that little piece of history. Okay.
We are a compilation and collection of all of the lives we've had.
Right. Exactly. So. It's funny, because I used to hate the word witch. I really did. And so I had this one friend, dear friend, kept calling me a witch. And I was like, don't call me that. Because, like, again, I went back to, you know, maybe the fairy tales of, like, witches with warts on their noses, or whatever the hell it was, or Salem witch trials and all of that. And it used to upset me, you know, when somebody called me that. I was like, don't call me that. Like, I'm not that, you know. And then it was like, wait a minute. No. You know, I had somebody point out, look at, go back. And it was like, oh, I get what I am now. Oh, I get it. Now I understand. Now I understand where all of this comes through, and all of this power. We've talked about that before, where I had those dreams of actually changing the elements, like the lightning in the sky and all of that, you know, and that's where I kept seeing, you know, myself. And this was old, right? Yeah.
That's a cool energy, cool past life, I think.
Yeah. Very strong too. Like, it's so, you know, when we put ourselves where we were, where we are, and we bring that forward, it's so powerful, right? It's just so powerful. It's so, I don't know, magical, right? I guess is the best way to say it. I don't know
Literally.
Yeah. Let's just make it simple. Magical. You know.
Well, speaking of magic, let's move on to Dazzle the Empress here.
Dazzle, how are you?
And this will be our last one. We do have people popping in. They want to know if it's too late to get on the list.
Yeah, I think we've been here for a long time already. So, we hope that you guys can watch next week and catch, come on. We're here 1 o'clock Mountain Time on Saturdays, and absolutely, come earlier. But we've already been here 3 hours and we're getting tired now.
So we're going to do this one with Dazzled, and then we're going to do the giveaway. So if you're in the giveaway, hang tight. If we have to, we'll call your name. You have to be here. So, all right, Dazzled of Empress, excuse me, would like to know what good stuff will come in 2021. I heard I'm supposed to have a heartbreak due to an awakening.
Okay, here's the thing. Okay, when we talk about when you say you're going to have a heartbreak due to an awakening, let's just back this up a bit. This is going to be all on your terms, not their terms. You might. Why do you have to have a heartbreak about it? And here's the thing. I'm not. And if I sound like I'm giving you heck, I'm not. What I keep seeing with you is a lot. I keep seeing the emerald green. I keep seeing money.
Yep, I see that again too.
Yeah. And it's like there's this grounded, strong energy. This is why, when we talked about at the beginning of this about psychics, and how dare somebody freaking tell you that you're going to have a fucking heartbreak. I'm sorry. I'm swearing. I'm angry. Who gives you the right? Who gives that person the right to do that? Like, honestly, this pees me off more than anything, right? Okay, I'm gonna breathe.
Well,
because you're creating the energy, right? Like, what's that?
This is kind of ironic.
Why?
Because when I tap into Dazzled, I am feeling that there are very fictitious, very friction-like emotions that are going to be coming up. Now, like you said, it doesn't necessarily have to mean heartbreak.
Right.
But I do feel that there are going to be opposing, contradicting emotions that are going to
100%
run into each other, right? But for them to assume that it's just some heartbreak, I don't know.
It's kind of like predicting the future, like it's like predicting this negative energy. Who's to say it needs to be a heartbreak? Like Brandon said, it could definitely be conflicting energies, but I'm feeling a strength coming from you. If you're going through an awakening, which I'm personally picking up as your own personal awakening.
Yep.
It's not somebody else's awakening. It's not whatever it is. It's your awakening where you're coming into your power and you look at it and you go, I'm way better than the energy that you're giving me. Like, do you see what I'm saying? That doesn't need to be a heartbreak. That's an energy of walking into your own strength. I feel like Brandon said, conflicting energies, possibly. I feel like you're going to be too strong, too good, too amazing for you to be dragging around any person that is baggage, or somebody who's not ready to step up, somebody that's not ready to come up to your level, somebody that's basically along for the ride. That's what I keep getting. And here's the thing, again, it doesn't need to be a heartbreak. You might be sad. When we let go of past energy, we can feel sad, of course, because there's that loss of maybe we had hopes or dreams with a particular person. But when we're stepping into our power, you're stepping into your power. It's up to that person if they want to, step up with you, or if they want to, run away with their tail between their legs, or whatever it is that they want to do. But it doesn't need to be, a heartbreak. It's basically embracing your power. I'm just so angry that somebody would say that to you, but because I'm not feeling that. I'm feeling you coming into your strength and letting go of the people that are not good for you, or where you're going, why am I wasting my time? Yeah, like, why am I wasting my time with this person, or whatever it is, right?
I think Dazzle is going to find some emotions that either have been buried or haven't really given a voice. these things are going to be able to come up, and I just see this integrating into the self, and I do feel an awakening. Absolutely, I do.
Yeah.
But for somebody to limit your awakening is not good.
No.
Whether it's a psychic or another relationship or person or whatever, don't let anybody limit that. This is all about you, what you feel, what you want, and you know, the elements of self. That's all that's important. That's all that matters. Do not let it be limited to what, you know, somebody else thinks. Only trust people who speak in energetic terms, but let you create your future. Those are the people you have to
absolutely trust. And you know, as Jenna said, you got this. Like you do. You have this. You got this. You know, next year is going to be very, very strong for you, is what I keep getting. It doesn't mean it's not going to have its ups and downs, or, you know, some of it, you know, disappointments and happiness. I mean, you know, if we didn't have a year like that, you know, what's the point, right? That's part of life.
Right.
But it's going to be, on the most part, I feel very positive. I feel very strong. It feels very moving forward. It feels very grounded. It's like you're reaching a new plateau of not only who you are, but what you're representing and what you're sending out energetically to others as well.
Beautiful. I'm glad you put that right. Damn, definitely glad you got that right.
Yeah.
You put that in the right.
I hope that helped. I do. I hope that helped. I do. I feel like, you know, you've got this really, really strong energy. It's just going to expand throughout 2021. It's going to expand. Yeah.
All right.
And giveaway time.
Giveaway. Let's do it. All right. So just to be clear.
You're so welcome. Dazzled. Sorry.
I will say no, I don't need to say everybody.
Yeah, because I don't think everybody's on, so we'll just kind of, you know, go with what it is. And
so do they still have to be here in order to win? Or are you going to give them a chance?
If I feel like,
should I pick a winner and an alternative, or?
Well, the thing is I know that some people from, you know, my area did pick it, or did share quite a lot, but I don't know if they were able to be on. But it doesn't mean, like, you know, I feel like we'll just go with what comes through, is what I like. We'll see. If it's somebody that isn't in the chat and hasn't been on the show all day, then no. Makes sense? You know what I mean? Because some of them have sent, and I don't even know if they might have been just one-time subscribers type of thing and then ran away, you know? And so that might not be really fair.
The whole point is to, you know, award the people that come and support and connect.
And that's, you know, just it. Yeah. Moment. So I'm kind of, I'd rather stay within that energy, and, you know.
All right. Well, while I finish folding up all these pieces of paper, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you and connect if they want a full reading.
Okay. So yeah, going until the end of the month, I am going to be doing, these are going to be, you know, 15-minute readings. How they're going to be sent to you is going to be through a private link on my YouTube channel. So it'll be like as if you connect on my YouTube channel, but only you're going to be able to see it. They're going to be 15-minute readings on really any subject that you want, but if there does include other people, I do need I do need some details, okay, you know, rather than just, you know, tell me about blank. I do need some background. I do need some details, because this is a 15-minute long video. Have an idea of what it is that you're asking, like send me actual questions. I do need your first name, your birth date. If it includes somebody else, their first name, their birth date. If you want a medium reading, I do need a picture of the person and possibly when they passed away and what their connection was to you. Basically, all of this is, you know, all of that information. Send it to, what you will want to do is submit it to me. through whichever means. Again, I usually either use Facebook. You can send it as a private message. You can send it through Instagram as a private message, or you can send it through email at oracleintuitions1111.com. All of the readings before that they are created or done do need to be paid for ahead of time. So it'll be $30. It can be sent through to PayPal, or if you're in Canada, email transfer at crogers5555@gmail.com. All of my info is in the description box below. So, if I said it too fast or whatever, or if I didn't say it correctly for some reason, it's all down in all of the description boxes on all of my channels. And then what I will be oh yeah, I do mediumship readings. Absolutely, Jenna. Do you do them before? No, I have done mediumship readings on the live stream. Absolutely. And I'm not going to go in too deep. I'm not going to go in too strong. It is going to be just a quick, insight. But I do prefer to do the mediumship readings privately. Now, also, too, if you're looking for like a deeper reading than the 15-minute, video reading, you can also contact me on, again, my Facebook, my Instagram, or my website, or my email. And I do provide full 1 hour long readings for $85 American. Okay. So this is an excellent price because it is one-on-one with me. It is, we can do it live. I usually use Facebook Messenger. I'll use WhatsApp as a live, communication. We do video readings. We can do phone readings. It's up to you, or we can use Skype. It's completely up to you. And it's basically just, booking that appointment, and we go into a full hour-long reading. So I'm just going to let that be for now. And I am going to put up more information in regards to the mini readings that I'm offering until the end of December.
All right. Are you ready, Kathy?
You bet. Who do we got?
All right.
Oh, and so after Brandon announces, what I'm going to need you guys to do, if you're on the chat, I'm going to need, your information. Don't put it in the chat by all means. You can send it to me personally, again, on either Facebook or Instagram. I'll, somehow we'll get in touch so I can get your address and all of that in order to send it out to you. Okay.
Yeah, so if you are called as the winner, maybe shoot Kathy an email or something on social media so she can link that up with you. All right, so I'm going to mix everything up, and I want you to randomly, at some point, just tell me to stop, and I'll grab whichever one that you tell me to stop on. Wait, why don't you show everybody the Organite?
So this is the Organite. It is with a white quartz. It is beautiful gold, and it is quite strong.
I love it. It looks so cool.
Thank you.
All right. Intuition, God's Lord, Spirit, Universe. Pick the right person. All right, Kathy, when you want, just tell me to stop, and I'll grab.
Stop.
All right. And the winner is Brittany.
Oh, okay. Okay. I know Brittany. But she is not on the chat. So I'm not sure exactly what to do here. Although she does share my stuff all the time. So I think that we will send it to her. Okay. But I'm going to have another contest I think at the end of the month. We're going to do maybe a New Year's type of one because I think that would be really cool. And it would be a really refreshing way to start 2021.
Oh, I love it.
Right? Yeah. So,
all right, so we'll do another one at the end of the month then?
Yeah, at the end of the month. I think
right.
we'll do another one for, like the first week in January or however that is. I can't, let me just take a look here.
Aw, thank you, JJ. That's so sweet.
What did JJ say?
Jessica, so we just actually got to the end of the show. This is a 3-hour plus live stream. We do shows every weekend on Saturday. So if you come in at the beginning of the show, you can get a reading. You can get on the reading list. So make sure you subscribe so you can join us next time. And Kathy just announced we'll be doing another giveaway. I'm excited for that. I love doing these.
Too.
It's so fun.
I think this will be really good. I think what we'll do is maybe what we'll do is announce it for, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't want to get to it. I want to say that we'll put it in for Boxing Day. Like that would be a really cool draw. However, one of the issues that I did have, or, right now I'm having, is finding the resin. And it's taking a long time to get shipped because apparently it's, Christmas. So everybody's, so if I cannot find it in a reasonable amount of time, we might just change that draw until the 2nd, I believe that is, or the 1st, whatever, the day after.
So just to bring in the new year.
Just to bring in the new year. So it'll either be Boxing Day or the 2nd. Like I said, I don't want to put a specific day on it because if I can't find the resin, that's just going to make me a big old, silly head. And I don't want to be in that position. So let me make sure I can find it and get it out and create it for you, first.
Right.
Okay. So
congratulations, Brittany. You're not here, but congrats.
And thank you so much, everybody. I hope to see you next week. And please continue, watching the weekly readings. And thank you so much for just being here and being a part of this soul tribe. Holy cow, this is amazing. Like new and people that have been here in the past. Like it's amazing to have you guys. And thank you. That's all. All right. Take care, everyone. Have an amazing week.
Bye, everybody.
Many blessings and bye. Did it go?